Well,
Let's
that's
get
great
it
because we're live
started.
now.
Are we?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mira, also known as Mike, also known as Win 5 Get 1 Free. And today, you are catching us with another episode of New Amsterdam. Sorry about the late start. However, we are going to start today. We're going to start today with Trinix. Trinix, you have a day today, right? You've got a thing to do.
A meal?
Yes, a succulent Chinese meal. I mean, a normal meal. So what is Trinix doing to prepare? It's the day of the lunch, right? Your lunch is at noon. It's probably like 9 o'clock, right?
Well, getting everything together with the information into a notebook that I've been doing for several days, but whatever. I get the notebook, make sure everything's there, and be like, not sure what we're going to do. Wait, where's the invitation paper?
Yeah.
I had it. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Just getting random things and being all like, okay, can't fuck this up.
Yeah. Checklist. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. You're kind of getting everything ready. Now, Scene, you're driving them there. What is Scene doing to get prepared?
I really don't need to do much to prepare.
Okay.
Like, I've got my crossbow if I need it. Tiger's gonna stay back at the club. So yeah, I'll just be ready whenever he gets ready.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. And top of that, um, the only other player character going to this lunch is Payne, right? I mean, Amy, you're going to be there through glasses, but Payne's the
Right.
only other one, right?
I think
Or do
so.
we have more? Okay. Payne, what are you doing to get ready for this lunch? Should be a ritzy lunch with some fancy people.
Ooh, nice. Then I'll wear my black and white camo,
Excellent. I love that. Um,
and
yeah,
I'm polishing my shiny guns.
your
Shiny
new
new
guns.
guns.
Absolutely. Yeah. You notice that there is a stamp on them, and it appears to be a stamp that is an eye inside a triangle, as in the letter I. Um, but yeah. Um, you're polishing these things, and they are nice. Okay. So you guys are all getting ready, and maybe Suzerain walks up to you, Trinix, and goes, "Hey, so today's the lunch. Uh, I'm coming with you, right?"
Yeah, I thought yeah.
Okay, okay. Just
That was
making
on
sure.
the. I thought that was on the. Did I, yeah, that was on the list. It was like number 2.
Yeah.
Wait,
She like looks around for this like list. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't know what you're talking about, you know. She like assumed she was going, but she was just like confirming. And also the other thing to note about her is she's like 15 and awkward. So like she's like just making sure she's in the right place, you know. Um Probably you guys are in the med bay, and Cash, you're probably in the med bay as well at this point, you know, hooked up to some diagnostics machines. Um, she's like, okay, well, if we're going, what's the plan? What are we gonna do there? Where we're gonna be going into the mythical Artiste. What are we doing? You know.
well, we're gonna find out what this person knows so that we can figure out how to get the technology to wake him up.
Kind of. She looks over at Hank and kind of nods a little resolved and goes, "Oh, okay, well, that shouldn't be too hard. We're just trying to get experimental brain tech out of the most guarded technological place in the entire town. It should be a cakewalk."
Hey, wait, I needed that paper. Yeah, because we got. Yeah, it'll be easy. It won't be too hard. We got it.
Yeah, kind of nods and goes, "Okay, well, I hope you know what you're doing." Um, and you notice that Suzerain is a little antsy, but like more than usual.
And my I am as well because I'm kind of like, okay, we got to do this right, and
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm focused on the things, and I may not notice the way she is. I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of distracted. I got a lot on my brain.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. And yeah, you guys are kind of getting everything together. And probably Cash, you're seeing all this. Maybe you're getting your diagnostics up and running to be able to like watch through the glasses.
For
So
sure.
what? Yeah, yeah. So what does that kind of look like?
Um, so I'm probably, am I still in med bay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm probably running everything through my cyber deck,
Right.
and like I'm occasionally bouncing back and forth between like real life and like in the info dev, but not. It's like our little net space.
Right.
Like
Your
I'm
little corner you've
remotely
made with some
right.
backups and stuff. Yeah.
Right, and I'm like remotely connected to everything inside of Tartarus. So not
Yeah, and one
everything,
thing
but
you
all the.
notice is
Mhm.
you are hooked up to the robust camera network of Tartarus. And I don't think that anyone here realized just how many cameras there are here.
Oh,
Because, like, yeah, there's a lot of cameras, but this is excessive. There's cameras everywhere. There's fucking cameras in the bathroom.
Oh my god. Like in the stalls or just in the bathroom?
in the bathroom.
Okay.
Fucking
Wow,
stalls.
that's
What kind of animals do you think we are?
listen, I don't know. Okay? Like you got a club. There's gonna be stalls. Ladies are gonna puke and then fix their hair. What am I gonna
Yeah.
say?
But
It's cool.
let me give you an example, right, of just how ridiculous the amount of cameras in this place are. You have imagine you're looking at the main bar, right? Bar number 1 where Pierre like camps up, right? You have 70 degrees of motion on each of these cameras, right? And
Yeah.
each of these cameras, there are roughly 30 at different angles pointing specifically at bar 1. And everywhere else is exactly like that. This is a massive network. Microphone hookups. Some of these things have thermal.
Oh, that's great. I am interested. Like when I'm spending my downtime
What have we
basically
done?
spying on everybody. Like just for funsies. So,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm catching all of it. Not for any truly like out of character, not for any malicious intent. I'm just bedridden and can't fucking do anything else. So you guys have officially become like my reality TV so that I don't go fucking stir crazy. Um, and I might become a little bit addicted to it. So,
To
like, I've
note,
Yeah.
named people. Yeah.
to note, places that you do not have cameras to. Lucky's office, for one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just get it.
Yeah.
Just say that right there. Also, I would
No,
like
no, I
to
would.
canonically say we don't have any standard equipment inside the booths. We have them
Yes.
outside the booth watching in, but we
The
don't
privacy
have
booths,
the
yeah.
privacy booths themselves don't have
Oh,
cameras
yeah.
in it. I'd just like to make
Yeah.
that
Oh,
canon now before there's any confusion.
That's a good thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the privacy booths that you guys offer, for whatever it is, probably like 100 eds a minute or some shit like that. Those are actually private as far as you can tell on this network.
Yeah.
right. Totally.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would even really want to see inside of those unless something super juicy happened, and then I'd be like,
You could watch yourself.
Yeah.
you could.
Now that I think about this, you could watch
Yeah.
yourself laying in the hospital.
You'd have to be a
I feel
special
like
kind of
occasionally I do
narcissist to
that.
be that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like occasionally I do that, and like I'll like stretch my arms up in the air, and like move around, and maybe like
Side
pick
note,
my teeth.
Side note, the things that would go on in those booths, and you would know that, and I guess I should codify this now. This is where biz happens. It's not like a privacy booth of like, oh, let's go fuck, or like, oh, let's have a moment
Oh,
of peace and quiet. It's shit where it's like these are safe zones for biz to happen. That's kind of
oh,
one
I
of
got.
Tartarus's big money makers. It isn't the drinks, because you lose money on drinks, right? It isn't the music, even though you make a little money on that. It's the booths. Like people appreciate the actual privacy.
Got, got it. Got it. I don't
Privacy
think
is
I've
at a premium here in the city, and we make a
Absolutely.
killing on it.
Absolutely.
totally
Um,
fair.
and
I do
actually,
think
I
that
think.
cameras.
Go ahead.
Totally fair. I do think there should be cameras, but I understand why there isn't. Like
Yeah,
it's I get it.
and
So
I and
here's the thing: if conspiracy is happening in my place, I don't want record of it. Does that make sense?
yeah,
It does very
Because then
much. Yeah,
we're
like
complicit.
remember in
exactly.
Cyberpunk 2077, whenever like everyone is in that booth for with Dexter Deshawn and all that, like in the
Vaguely.
very beginning when you're setting up the Compeki
Before
Plaza
you,
heist.
before you go
Yeah.
get the disc.
Yeah, like right as you
Yeah.
get the drone and everything, that's what these booths are. The kind of
Got
like,
it.
yeah, everything in here is private, nothing's recorded, it's safe to talk biz in here. It's safe to do whatever we got to do in here. It's just expensive to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so you're looking at these cameras, kind of watching people. It's pretty dead. It's 9 in the morning, which means that you've got your leftover clubbers, your hardcore alcoholics, and your third shifters who just got off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And
that's kind of what you've got.
I have named all of them.
Yeah.
Like
Even
it
yeah.
even not the ones that I know their names. These would be all the
Mhm.
like random people that I don't know. So like that's Todd. That's also Todd. They hang out together. You know, like it's kind of ridiculous. I'm not sure what that relationship is, but I'm curious. He looks real irritated all the time. The other one looks very happy-go-lucky. You know,
Right.
like super
Right.
chill. Oh, there's Selena. She's coming in for her Thursday drink. She must have had a real good meeting. Like I'm
Well,
just
this is your first time accessing this network, probably,
oh
because like
oh okay.
this is like probably you haven't had time. I mean, really, between now, since you got here and now, you haven't really had a lot of time to do exploring outside of like specifically the net infrastructure of this place, right? Like maybe you were like, wow, that's a lot of things hooked up to the camera network, but like you didn't have time to explore that and be like, oh, these are all cameras. None of these are auxiliary routers. It's all cameras. Like, like
Yeah, got
um
it.
one other thing, all of these are running into a massive data store. Like,
Mhm.
you don't have access to the data store, even though you have full access to the network. You do not have access to this data store.
I would like to gain access to this while everybody is busy doing important shit that I'm not allowed to go to.
That sounds very interesting, and we'll explore that here in a minute. So,
Okay.
we have got, the whole group, right, is all together. And yeah, let me real quick do something. Ow, Jesus Christ. Ouchies, ouchies, oochies, ouchies. Give me 1 second. And I need to, I think this is how this works. Sorry, I'm just looking through a couple things real quick. Uh, Tell me if you guys see this. Where is it? Where is it? What the
Hey,
heck?
am I
Uh-huh.
outside of critical now? Am I at serious now?
A day has passed. Did you guys see that?
Oh, a day has
Yes.
passed. Let me go ahead
Yeah.
and get.
But yeah, did you guys see that?
See
Yes.
what?
Yes, the persuasion fast talk.
Yes. Okay, right on. I just had to double check. Here's the question. Can you see this
Yes.
now?
Yes.
What in the
Yep.
Yeah.
fuck? Why is this not?
Have
Hold
you
on.
changed from a public role to a GM role or a self role?
Yes.
Okay.
Still see
Yes,
it.
I
Still see it.
have. I don't know why that's doing that. Okay,
Try
Scene, go ahead and
toggle
make me a perception roll.
perception
Awareness notice, rather.
awareness notice.
Okay, right on. So, you guys are kind of all getting together and Scene, everyone's kind of packing into your van. And as they're packing in, you notice just the slightest kind of like, the slightest kind of shift in Suzerain's kind of facial expression as she gets in. She kind of shifts from like this very like anxious to like a very just like deadened look. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
Can I see if
So
she has any weapons or anything on her?
yeah, go ahead and well, now that you're specifically mentioning it, you kind of take a closer peek at her. The DC was a 25, but since you're specifically looking for it, you notice that as she kind of adjusts, there's an imprint of a handgun like down the back of her pants,
This
under
isn't
her shirt
Suzerain. Sorry.
and her
And do
coat.
and do I know if she feels any certain way about who we're gonna go see?
No, not in
Nah,
particular. No.
I'll just leave it. I
Okay.
mean, everyone's entitled to self protection.
Yeah. No
Uh,
one else noticed that. Side note,
it,
just seen.
it's the fact that she seems different. I'm gonna keep an eye on her. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna be like, you have to give me your gun, because
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
just be against everything we're doing. So
Right. Um. Yeah. So, um, you guys. So yeah, scene. You're gonna drive everyone to Artis.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna continue to be in Trinix's ear
Okay.
every once in a while and just
Right
be
on.
like, "Hey, do me a favor and look to the left. Okay, now look to the right."
Yeah.
Sometimes I look the opposite way just for pure entertainment.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! And I'm just like, "Sir, I am literally living in a hospital bed. Can you please entertain what I'm asking you to do?"
Yeah.
It's entertaining me, though.
I know. Do you say that out loud? I love that if you do.
Yes. Yes, completely.
you,
Oh yeah.
you sound
Ha-
crazy, and I'm
Having a
fucking
little chat there, kid.
Yeah, she's in the hospital and she wants to watch. I'm having fun with her.
That's not
Okay,
creepy.
if that's her thing, fine.
um. Yeah, and as you guys are driving, Scene, you know this, you have to go through Jewish Quarter to get to Artis. Not only is it like the quickest route, but also Plantage is a little bit hot right now to the point where Artis has like officially closed off their gates in those areas. I mean, their gates are already closed, but I mean like super closed.
Yeah.
Like there's armed guards at those gates constantly on watch, and if someone gets too close, they fire a warning shot, and then if they keep getting too close, they paste him. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, Jewish quarter's
Um,
like my home away from home, so it's not an issue.
no, for sure. So you're driving through Jewish Quarter, and you're going kind of this southeasterly sort of way. You pull into the this big gate for Artis. And to describe Artis, Artis is an unnatural area in the middle of New Amsterdam. It is walled, heavily walled, right? Massive walls that go up 30 feet, thick concrete. You all have heard rumors that they're lined with steel. Cameras dotting every fucking couple feet, probably more surveillance than you're able to see on it, constantly manned, including by autonomous combat drones. Something which Connor would have a lot of experience with. However, Connor is not here. But yeah, so you guys pull up. You pull up to this gate, this big fucking metal gate. Several dudes with assault rifles kind of come out, and they're not like aggressively moving. They're clearly security though, and they kind of flank either side of the van, and they say, one of them kind of looks at you to roll down your window. Scene.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And it's you have an invitation.
I hand it up to him to see him. Be like, yeah, here.
Yeah,
I will
kind of.
pass it along.
Yeah, he kind of looks it, reads it up and down. All right, kind of scans it with this little kind of like hollow scanner thing. It does that cool thing where it blasts out some light that scans across each of the words and the seal. It comes up green, and he goes, "All right, you're gonna park the van in there. Anyone, you're gonna park the van in there. One person is allowed security detail. One person. We're gonna search everybody. Understood?"
Understood.
Yeah. So you pull into this area, the gate closed, and you are in a concrete square with like steel lined bars. You can tell all manner of scanning equipment is looking at this. Now, Scene, do you have any explosives on you? Like in your vehicle?
In my vehicle, probably a couple arrows.
Couple explosive arrows?
Yeah.
Okay. Um they have you guys get out of the van. Um, they're like, "You have anything you want to declare? The van is staying right here. I can tell you right now, you could set a nuke off in this thing, and it's only going to cause a small hole in this wall."
Uh,
Does the needler count as something to declare? Because
Yes, you're not
that's
going to be able to.
for
Yeah, he's going to be like, "You're not going to be able to take the needle pistol in. You're going to have
okay.
to leave it in the car."
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I
is
declare that
Susan
I'm security detail man.
Kind of look you up and down. Explosives?
in the
No
van?
way.
Oh.
Yeah, specifically to Pain Dexter, and you go, "No way." They scan and they go, It's a big fucking caliber. And like, probably the dude scanning you kind of looks and goes, "Can I see?"
He smiles. Yeah, man. Gets one of them out for him.
He's got a gun! Tackles.
No, he gently, like, he very much in a very like, "Do you mind?" sort of thing, like gently like asks to like see the gun because he's just interested, you know.
Yep, I hand it over to him, not barrel towards me.
Yeah, he takes the gun and he kind of looks over it. And this dude, this is about the time that specifically Payne, you realize each of these dudes, like, you might get some cowboys in White Wolf who are incompetent and just like Big Gun. Fuck, you might get some dudes even in Op who like kind of failed upwards as corpos and then decided they wanted to try to be assassins. Every one of these guys that you're looking at are straight up pro. Like they seem like A plus dudes. Like this is a secure location. Kind of looks it over, half racks it to look at the munition inside, closes it back, and hands it to you in the same way you handed it to him, right, with the barrel facing himself. He goes, "It's a damn fine piece. If we happen to bump pads again, maybe you can tell me where you got it. I could use an extra EDC."
Sounds like good talk over a drink or two.
And he kind of chuckles, and that little moment of camaraderie lasts for a second before he snaps right back into it. And he go ahead.
Does Suzerain take her gun out and leave it?
No. In fact,
her.
they go to Suzerain and they're like, "Anything to declare?" And she's like, "No."
She has a pistol.
And yeah,
She'll leave
and
it in the van.
literally as soon as you say that, the guy like is already fishing it out, and she's like, "Hey, get the fuck!" And like he pulls out the handgun, and all of you see this gun now. It is a shitty, cheap vending machine gun. It could probably squeeze off 10 shots before it blows up in your hand. It's 45 ACP, also known as 2 World Wars, So it packs some stopping power against a non-borged out opponent. But this thing costs maybe like 50 eddies, Kind of looks at it and goes, "Yeah, nice try, little miss." And he kind of tosses it onto your duffel bag in the back there, scene. Yeah. And yeah, she does anybody react to this?
Payne will shake his head sadly at the gun she got.
Yeah.
All right, whatever choice, but this is a dinner. Whatever.
Yeah, and she's like,
I understand.
Yeah.
With the shit that you and I have seen, I understand.
Like I said, I don't blame her for wanting the fence.
Yeah, and she actually gives you kind of a soft smile at that, Trinix. That's definitely something she probably needed to hear. But yeah, so they get the rest of you scanned. Anyone who is not Payne Dexter does not have any weapons on them.
I mean, I'm a weapon.
I mean, you are. Is your tiger in the back of this fucking car?
No, we left it back at the club.
Good.
Yeah, we weren't going to bring a tiger to a dinner.
Okay,
Motherfucking tiger.
Anything to declare opens back a truck.
Tiger.
Or opens back a van, head swiped off. Ooh,
Yeah,
you should have said the code word first.
Yeah, right. Uh-oh. No, yeah. So you everything gets taken care of, They say, "All right." And this kind of almost golf cart looking electric vehicle pulls up. And a dude who is in basically no armor kind of pulls up. He's got a little kind of like blue diode at the like right under his right eye, but otherwise he looks completely uncyborged. He says, "Hello, it is a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Lorna. Please, you and your entourage may enter the vehicle."
Cool. Get in the car. Or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a little cart sort of thing. Kind of like those like four like the party of six kind of golf carts that they have on like at like greens, at golf courses. It's one of those. It's a 3-row. But yeah, I'm assuming everyone
I
gets
sit
in.
up front
Absolutely, you do. I
because
love
I'm the
that
head
about you.
person of the car of the party.
Yeah,
You sit in the back and watch people coming up from behind.
yeah,
God, dude.
yeah.
Gun dude.
Pain, you've been called gun dude.
That's nice.
Who's Pain? We just have a gun
Right?
dude.
Yeah, I don't know who this Pain Dexter is. I thought we picked up a guy named Gun Dude a few sessions ago, but
No. His name isn't Gun Dude. It's just, his name's not important. It's just Gun Dude.
yeah. His name is Not Important, also known as the best protagonist for any kind of garbage shooter. But no, so yeah, you guys all get in, and the gate in front of you opens, and stark contrast ensues. You see several miles of perfect manicured green lawn, trees that are nice. There appears the air here even smells fucking nice, and you don't know how they do that because this is an open air compound. You know what I mean? There is, people in casual clothes walking around. There's scientists walking around. You kind of are looking around and you see that maybe there's a large group of cybered out animals that are kind of walking in a line with no master, just kind of down one of these sidewalks. This place looks like a college campus of today for a very expensive tech school, right? Like this looks like a very expensive like tech school campus. There are several buildings all around, and the cart starts going forward. And immediately, you guys go over a little bridge over a small kind of area of pure, clean running water, right? Like actually clean. Like looking in the canal, that shit's usually brown and muddy. This is crystal clear. You can see the bottom of this synthetic gravel and these little fish swimming around in it and little algae kind of growing off of some of the rocks, and bugs. There's bugs around here too, which is, aside from like cockroaches, bed bugs, maggots, gnats, and flies, there's not really much of a bug presence to be spoken of in New Amsterdam. Mostly your bottom of the food chain bugs, but like you see a fucking butterfly. You know what I mean? What's everyone's reaction to this?
Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, everything just went Technicolor.
We need to get a house out here. This place is pretty.
Sure, with your funds, you could totally afford that.
And
I think it probably runs like the cost of the entire value of our business per month.
Yeah, right.
yeah, and probably at hearing, oh, we should get a place out here. The driver kind of turns around as he's driving, not even looking at the road, still right in the middle, right? Just like, unfortunately, living here means that you would have to be working for one of the main companies that are within Artis. There is no private property here except for property owned by the Artis Conclave.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah. And Cash, what's your reaction to seeing this place?
Oh my god. I am like, Trinix, look to the left, look to the right, look up, look down. Do you see those? Like, I am like, he's gonna have to fucking mute me or something for a second
Yeah.
because I'm full on geeking. Like, this is incredible. I have never seen anything like this. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Do you even want to respond? You might look crazy. Don't respond. That's okay. Holy shit, dude. This is fucking. What is it like? What does it smell like? Does it smell good? Can you smell the flowers? Oh, don't answer that. Don't fucking speak yet. Oh my god.
Hey,
And that's,
Cash, there's one
yeah.
other thing you notice.
Yeah.
You hear, because, the med bay is in a basement that kind of overlaps with the back alley. You hear rain outside, right? You know it's raining outside.
Yeah.
It's not raining in Artis.
Oh,
You see sprinklers, but it's not raining.
so weird. I am going to mention that to Trinix and be like, it's raining here. It doesn't seem to be raining there.
It's not. But look,
Mm.
there's mechanical. Those mechanical animals are cool. Look at those.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
So
pretty.
right. So you guys are, you're going down this road and you pull up kind of to this main drag over here, kind of in the middle, the one that's going kind of southeast northwest, the double-sided one. And as you're going, you kind of get to this crossroad, and at this crossroad is this perfect little model Americana, right? There's a little diner. It looks like the 1950s in here, right? There's a little diner. There's a little corner shop. There's a greengrocer, and there's like a little playground. And you see some kids playing in this playground too, just having the time of their life. They're dressed nice. But like they're still in play clothes, but it's nice play clothes. There's not a single fucking hole in their clothes. It's impressive. Everyone in Amsterdam has fucking holes in their clothes, unless they're uber rich.
Uber
But yeah,
rich.
you pull up and you see the name above this diner is Dotson's Diner, right? And the cart pulls off and goes, "This is the location of your luncheon. I will be awaiting outside. Thank you for a peaceful and participative ride."
Thank you. That was fun. When I get out, you're like, let's go have dinner. This will be
Yeah.
fun.
Dinner. Yeah. Looking
So
around still like, jeez.
yeah. One thing seen that you noticed. So this driver is like looks just like a fucking human. This driver drives like a fucking autonomous vehicle. No
yeah.
soul in it, right? No soul at all, but certainly there is a lot of skill, right? Like every turn was a perfect turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so you guys are led into this diner and you see all of these people kind of munching, sitting around, going about their business, and you guys do not fit in. Every single one of these people looks non-Borged. They are dressed in kind of nice casual clothes. They're clean. They smell nice. The diner smells really nice. And matter of fact,
I'm on board.
say what?
I'm on board.
True, but seeing you're the most likely, I want you to make me an awareness notice again. You smell something in the air. You've only smelled this once before. One time, your particular tribe, right? Your particular group found a cow, and the cow died, right? It was mistakenly added to the forest by the Holland Forestry Service, right? You guys found the cow, and the cow just had been killed, so you grilled it up, and you had burgers, something that most people in the world at this point don't get. You smell real burgers in the air, or at least as much as you can assume these are real burgers. Like, this is real meat that you're smelling. The rest of
Right.
you guys, this is a super fucking, like, savory smell. There's the grease of fries. And yeah, this place is a greasy spoon, but it smells a damn sight better than 99% of the things out there in the fucking area. As you enter, you see that there is a guy sitting at one of the booths. It's a corner booth. He's in the very middle corner. Kind of waves you guys over, and you Trinix, you would recognize this man's face. You would recognize that this is Jabbar Alphonse. He's a little older now. He's probably in his 40s. And, he's got some glasses on, He's kind of got a darker complexion, a kind of larger nose, kind of scruffily short hair, like straight, but scruffily. He looks maybe not like it was intentionally scruffily, but his hair is nice enough that like it doesn't matter if it wasn't intentional, and he kind of has this placid smile on his face as he waves you guys over.
I need to change the clothes.
We'll be fine. Let's go. Sit down.
Yeah. You walk over and he says, he goes, where is and he kind of says, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. He kind of looks through your crowd and goes, where no offense, but where is Thomas Lorna?
Oh,
Please don't tell him that he
Um.
died taking down the dev, please.
He got into some stuff and couldn't be saved, so his life was extinguished.
And kind of goes, And kind of as he does this, you see another dude who walks out of an area clearly marked as restrooms. This guy also does not fit in with the crowd here, because he is heavily armored to the teeth. Payne, you look at this guy, you can immediately tell this is Mark V body armor. It's a powered type armor. And it is pretty scary stuff. You've read about it in magazines, but it's one of those things that has the that price tag of like it was a flash piece. Of course they advertised it because that was part of the deal, but it was like a write up in some runner magazine or some like solo magazine that was just like, look at this shit, And this guy's just sporting it like it's another fucking Tuesday.
Oof, this guy's got a Maserati for a body.
Yes, indeed. That's
Maserati
fucking
for a
good.
body.
I like that. But yeah, he kind of walks up to the table and he sits down next to Jabbar. Kind of clears his.
I'll give him the nod.
Absolutely, he gives you the nod back. And he says, "Please, all of you, sit. Sorry, don't mind the presence of my bodyguard. He's not important. Scene, make me a human. Well, whoever wants to make me a human perception."
Damn right.
Would it be
Okay.
possible to do that from my bed?
Yeah, but give yourself a -5.
Okay, I don't know how to do that, so I'm just gonna hit it and then it'll be trash.
Okay, so you got like 11.
11, yeah.
5.25. Interesting. I think I know why that is the way it is, but yeah. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. So
Oh, I know how to fix that later. Yeah, I
yeah.
know. I figured it out.
So, scene,
Yeah.
this man was sent here to kill you. It is very obvious. Looking at his body language, he's in this weird liminal state of he's not quite sure what the plan is right now. Dude's strapped, he's heavily armored, and it's very obvious that he's like here on business. This isn't a bodyguard thing. He's not paying attention to Dr. Alphonse. He's paying attention to you guys. You know what I mean? Like, this man clearly, at least initially, has intended you bodily harm at some point. He's not saying anything, obviously, but he's got that spooky shit around him. You know what I mean? And he says, well, it is a shame that Thomas Lorna passed. Did any
So
of you... Oh, go ahead.
now, what am I reading from the doctor, dude?
He's on the back foot. He's not quite sure what's going on. He's
Wait,
not
does he?
anxious. Does what?
So he recognizes this armored dude, though, right?
Oh,
You said it's
absolutely.
okay.
No,
Okay.
that's totally
Not
fine. He
sure what's
introduced him
going
as
on.
his
I thought you meant
bodyguard
like
and
okay.
everything.
So I
No,
thought I
no,
was like,
he's
what?
a little confused as to the current situation.
Okay.
But he's not confused about his bodyguard. He's very comfortable around this man.
Okay.
Is the best way to put it. Kind of says, well, that's unfortunate that Thomas Lorna passed. I was really looking forward to meet him. Did any of you know him personally?
Well, I met him once, and he started teaching me stuff, and then I did some other research, found out more stuff, and yeah, he's my brother.
And at this, Alphonse kind of pulls back and goes, "Oh, I didn't realize that Mr. Lorna had a brother. Um, what did you know about Thomas Lorna? And yeah, what did you know about Thomas Lorna?
Well, he was a doctor dude that I studied under. Um, I didn't know much about his personal life until after his passing, and I looked at some of his research because I was following in his footsteps of the stuff because he was teaching me stuff and it was all cool and stuff and like that. And so then we did a DNA analysis and it was kind of cool, and then it showed that we were related. So I've done some research into figuring out whatever, but his personal life, I don't know. No.
You kind of, interesting. Rolling your human perception for forward scene. Clearly, some kind of communication while this conversation is happening, is going on between this man and his bodyguard. It's not apparent on the outside, but you can tell when someone's getting a sub vocal sort of situation going on. With a role like that, you could definitely tell that there is a conversation or an order of some sort going on.
I'm gonna keep ready. If this bodyguard, I air quotes,
Mm-hmm.
makes any kind of move against us, this dude's going into an arm lock or something, some
Yeah,
sort of grip.
yeah. And he says, and you two are brothers. You did genetics on this, right? Do you have that? Forgive me for prying, but do you have that paperwork?
Yeah, I pull out the folder of all my notes and stuff, and it's like, it's in here. Yeah. See, I've printed off a copy of it
Mm.
or scanned off. Whatever. I made a copy of it.
Do you hand him the whole folder, or do you just hand him the
Just the
genealogy?
page, just the
Okay,
genealogy page.
smart. Kind of, he lingers looking on that folder for a second, and then he takes the genealogy page and, yes, your 20th chromosome, your 17th, your 14th, exactly the same. Slight deviation in your 15th, but that could just be genetic drift. Interesting, and kind of hands it back to you with this placid smile. Seen a very fake smile. And goes, so if he was your brother, forgive me for asking, but how were you unfamiliar with him? Weren't you raised with him, or at least were introduced to him by your family? Did he run off on his own, or? I mean, I was unaware that he had a sibling.
Well, when we were really young, he's older. So, when we were young, something happened in our family. I was too young to remember what it was. I don't know, but we got separated and went our different ways of whatever. So, I mean, he went off and did his thing, and then I kind of got into this little house that I was in for a while, and then I found my way to learning to be a doctor myself, and then later on we ran into each other, and he had changed physically because you get older, you look different. And I was young and didn't remember him much. So I, I just thought it would be cool to learn under him because I heard he did great things in the city for medical things.
Now, scene.
Yeah.
The second he says something happened and we got separated, there is a noticeable tenseness, and I'll even give it to Computer King as well, to Payne Dexter. There is a slight noticeable tension that forms in Dr. Jabbar Alphonse's back, right? Like you notice that tension, Computer King.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, Scene would know this particular phrase made this man incredibly uncomfortable.
So this man was the cause of this something. Got it.
One might assume. And he says, "Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. I suppose it runs in the family, though. Very, very interestingly, that doctors, assuming that you have the same father, I actually knew Dr. Lorna."
Oh, that's cool. What did he do a lot of stuff for the city too? Or...
He was a coworker of mine. He was a very good man. And
Was
yeah,
that a
Scene.
lie?
Yeah, Scene. You for sure are seeing that he's testing the water with this. First of all, everything he's saying about his dad is very much like cloaked in a whole bunch of like just saying shit to like say the right thing. But he's also clearly got ulterior motives here. You know what I mean? You're not sure what they are necessarily, but I mean like his body language alone is not giving it to you, but you might be piecing some things together,
Right.
And he kind of says he was a very good man. In fact, I owe quite a bit of my research to him. A lot of my research is actually built on research we did together. And he says, and I suppose that's why I invited Mr. Lorna here today. And serendipitously, another Lorna has answered. And at this point,
It all clicks in my head.
yeah, at this point, it clears his throat, and he shuffles in his seat, and then he sits back, and then he looks over at the kitchen, and this lady dressed in this perfect pink 1950s waitress diner outfit. You know what I'm talking about, the white apron, the pink like short dress, kind of like the frills or whatever, the heels, that whole thing. She's straight off a fucking poster from the 50s about like how the gals back home are doing their best, you know what I mean? And she brings out a plate of several hamburgers, fries, and milkshakes. They're all chocolate milkshakes, and she kind of serves it up and goes, "Well, darling, it's a pleasure to see all of you. My name is Clarice. I'm going to be your server for today. If you need anything, you just let me know. I can get y'all a Coke in the back. They're vintage style, straight from the 1980s, with that classic recipe that'll make you smile." And as she's getting each of you plates, and Dr. Alphonse kind of looks and goes, thank you, Clarice." Exactly, Computer King, with that look. But imagine pink instead of blue. But yeah, so she kind of gives you guys the meals, and immediately Dr. Alphonse kind of smiles and digs in. The bodyguard obviously does not get a meal because he's wearing a fucking mask. You know what I mean? Pretty much the only way you guys are reading him is body language, not facial language. You know what I mean?
Right. Any maliciousness to that waitress?
No, not at all. She seemed
Genuinely kind, genuinely offering this up.
she seemed a little off, but she was genuinely nice.
Like behavior chip off. Got it.
Say what?
Nothing. I'm just making
No,
the
what you? I
connection.
didn't hear what you
Oh,
said.
it said behavior chip off. Got it.
But yeah, you guys have a nice fucking meal in front of you. Do all of you eat?
It's taking a lot of willpower, but Scene's gonna look down and be like, I honestly expected the dinner was gonna be between you two and 8 before we came.
And he's like, oh, well, I mean, if you want, you can try a bite. I'm trying to demonstrate a point with these. I'll be perfectly honest with you. This meeting is not entirely without motive, of course. Is anyone else eating though?
Are these
I will.
burgers? Are these burgers soy, plant-based, or
Well, they
vat-grown?
smell real. I've had real before, and this is I don't think you
Wait,
can fake that.
real isn't meat?
Kind of. At this point, Dr. Alphonse gets a huge, almost childlike grin on his face. You can tell he's super excited. He's been waiting all fucking day for this moment. You know what I mean? And he's like, real. You see, we've been working on cloning technology, not vat growing for specifically meat. I'm talking the whole cow. These are the culmination of decades of research.
Grabs a burger and bites.
Oh, oh my god. Holy shit. You've had soy things telling you that they're burgers? You've had imitation meats that have been sold to you that are just like burgers. Holy fucking shit. The texture is so succulent and springy. It's done medium rare, so there's a little pink on the inside. It's juicy. It's got a nice little chew to it. The bread is fresh. It doesn't taste stale or filled with preservatives or anything like that.
You're making
It's
my mouth water.
it's incredible. It's got a nice
Right?
fresh leaf of lettuce on it. On the side, there's a tomato that you could put on it if you want. It is just as juicy and succulent. And the condiments on this thing, you didn't realize sauce that you could put on things could have flavor instead of just make it slightly wetter. You know what I mean? This is a damn good burger. Um, and
This
he
is not fair. It's the
sees,
middle of the night and I can't have a burger.
Yeah, you can. Aren't you in New York? There's something open.
yeah,
Like
that's
upstate
true.
New York, not city.
But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I think what might be occurring is the same thing that occurs with me is like I can't eat after a certain point, otherwise I feel like trash the entire night.
Now I have to give in tomorrow and Grubhub myself some Mr. Beast burger.
Oh,
Do
hell
Hell
it!
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
and it's good
Um,
shit too. That makes me crazy. Moving on.
But
Yep.
yeah, he just sits back and because you're not eating scene, you see he looks at everyone else and he has this look of there's a little bit of smug, but more than anything, this is just pure actual excitement that he's getting to like show people cool shit that he's doing. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like eating it. I'm like, so that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. He's like, now I can't take credit for this particular thing. That would actually be Dr. Adams, but I've worked with Dr. Adams specifically for the construction of I suppose deconstruction of the cow's brain. No longer with the previous way that the meat industry was put together. No longer do we have living, thinking creatures being turned into commodity and product. No, these things are born without any thought. They have just enough thought to regulate breathing until they mature, and eating, they have no emotional content or awareness. And at the end of the day, they taste just as good and are twice as ethical. And he takes another big fucking bite of his burger. A little bit of
Outstanding.
ketchup drips out the side.
That's wow.
Yeah.
I just, That's awesome.
He's like, try the fries and the milkshake too. The fries are actually made with organic oil grown actually here in Artis, canola oil that we've actually
Handful of
spiced.
fries, mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Holy shit. Did you realize that potatoes are more than just starch? Like they have chew to them? And these guys are almost kind of tangy, you know? Like they've got a little bit of that kind of pickled tang to them. He goes, and the milkshakes, milked from the same cow that you're eating right now. Not the shake of itself, of course. The ice cream was made from the milk. Yeah, I'm not being silly here, you know. And yeah, this is hands down probably the best meal you guys have had in a while. It's
More like
legit.
ever.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. They like eating this almost makes you want to cry for have ever eaten K rations, right? For have ever
Payne grew
eaten
up on the
K.
street, so yeah,
Yeah,
best meal ever.
absolutely. Yeah, no, this is phenomenal. And he
so
says,
I'm like,
mhm.
so you researched to do that is an awesome thing to be into. That like I'm completely just like you're awesome.
He's like, what? Thank you, but neurosurgeon or neuroscience is a fascinating field in and of itself. Um, kind of it's something that I take a great pride in. And matter of fact, I've been teaming up with the Boston Dynamics folks here, specifically, and he kind of raises his hand and snaps his fingers, and everyone in the diner stops and freezes exactly where they are. And he says,
Behave chips. I knew it.
in fact, we've made people that look almost exactly like the real thing. And he kind of points out the window to where the kids were playing on the playground. And all of these kids are frozen. You see one of them that was swinging on a swing falls off the swing and face plants in the same position as the swing kind of goes back and forth, you know. One of them that was going down the slide, his hands were holding the side and now they're frozen in place, so he's halfway down the slide, you know. One of them threw a ball to another and it just bounces off of its head as they're all standing stock still. And he says, welcome to Adamsville, vainly named by Adams, the fellow that I was telling you about, who worked quite a bit on the cow here. He also is, he bounces around from a few of the different areas, and he created this beautiful little piece of street corner, kind of valuing all of this old American aesthetic, something that's definitely been lost to time. And I had a hand in making all of this.
So
And
all these people are fake?
he's like, yeah, and he's like, absolutely. And he walks up to the waitress and he says, Clarice, follow me. And Clarice kind of walks up. Clarice, hold out your hand. And, you know, she holds her hand out and he says, feel that. Feel how real that feels.
He'll reach out and feel her arm.
Yeah, and her skin feels like skin. It's warm. It's slightly damp from sweat because it is a little warm in here. It's a diner, you know. There's tiny hairs on it. There's pores, freckles. It feels like a real person.
Okay,
So
wait,
would she
wait.
like open
Wait,
up?
wait. Okay, this is cool, but what's the inside of these people? We see the outside. Sorry, I'm speaking from a doctor's point of view. The
Yeah.
inside of them, is it, organs and stuff like that? Because if you were to do that to, like, you could have parts to fix people if it had this stuff on the inside, right?
And he
And
says,
it's just like, that would be bounds ahead of anything.
and he smiles and he says, oh, taking parts from these people, from these things, from these experiments, that's not the ultimate goal, my friend. And he's like, I don't think I ever caught your first name.
Trinix. But there's so much application medically wise. Yeah, you're making full people, but if somebody gets hurt, you got.
And he smiles and he says, No, Trinix. Don't worry. We already have advanced VAT cloning. And yes, there is advanced VAT cloning. Yes, it's prohibitively expensive. It's so stupidly expensive. And he goes, No. Are you aware of what my field of research specifically is, and what your father was working on at one point before he had his moment?
But you said you did neuro, so I'm guessing brain. So you did like brain surgery and understanding how the human brain works and all those like thousands of neurons of nerves firing through the brains and which different cortexes do this, that, and the other, and which lobe is attached to. Yeah, all that type stuff.
He says, Absolutely, I do love neuroscience, but my current project, which again is based off of your father's work, actually happens to be something more specific. You see, the problem with medical technology is when, say for instance, someone's brain stops working, right? We've got everything in the body all figured out, but something like, say, Alzheimer's or other degenerative brain activity or brain diseases. You've got palsy, Bell's palsy, cerebral palsy. You have neurological diseases that are even yet unfound, caused by accumulations of chemicals in the brain that have done constant damage, or overuse of drugs and alcohol that potentially have damaged soft tissue. No. Sometimes you cannot repair the flesh and the connections within the brain. What I've been working on, and why I wanted to show you these things, is I've been working on something entirely different. I have been working on an entirely new brain. And at this point, Cash, your feed cuts.
No.
He says, he kind of leans in and he says, with what we're doing here between Boston Dynamics and my group, Zenith Diagnostics, and even EMED pitching in a little bit, I believe that we are on to the cure for the most common, terrible human condition. We've already had engrams that have started to become more and more popular, that capture the soul and live forever. Bah, that's no way to live. The problem with coding is that it's weak, it's vulnerable. Any 2-bit or even 3-bit netrunner could go in there, change a couple lines of code, and irreparably damage somebody. But another body, not one that's made of parts, not one that's a human body that's been supplemented, but a real, honest-to-God body. That is what we're working towards. Now, I know that Thomas was working towards some of this as well, and that he has some potential research. When he came here, was going to ask him about that research and see if he would be willing to work in a collaborative fashion, sharing the information he has and potentially working again. But you seem like a bright young man, and to be perfectly honest, if you know everything that Thomas used to know, you have all of his notes, you don't seem like the type not to have studied them, right?
Payne taps on Clarice's arm and says, Brave Clarice, you will let me know when those lambs stop screaming, won't you? And then goes back to eating.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I,
You had to get it in, didn't you? You had to get your movie
Yes, I
quote
did.
in.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
I named her Clarice for a reason. Don't worry. I'm setting it up, Holmes.
Actually,
So-
when he does that, I'm gonna actually before even Trinix say anything. So, do these creations think for themselves, or are they just like robots?
No. At the moment, currently what we have is we have what we like to call a baseline, right? it's about as simple as you can make a human brain, and then we supplant it with chips and chemical feeds and that sort of thing. There have been some military applications that people have been doing that might get us a grant here or there, but the ultimate goal here is to take these vessels, these sort of, well, they're as close to a person as you can get without bridging the ethical gap, and making them so that we can continue on as we were meant to, whole as people.
There's
I
not to that.
didn't
And
Uh,
roll my fucking shit back online because I'm
nope.
feverishly
There
rolling.
is a strong signal jammer. You are trying to get connection, and it's very clear that intentionally someone has specifically blocked signal.
Cool. I'm gonna text Lucky and be like, and I'm gonna tell her, my signal's blocked. Whatever they're saying, they don't want anybody to know outside of what's going on there. Is Lucky there?
no,
No.
No,
Oh, no. Okay, then I'm gonna text Scene. I'm sorry. I thought Lucky was there. I'm gonna
you
text.
text scene, and it does that thing where the message bounces back and goes, "We were unable to send this message. Please try again later."
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I would notice when she stopped talking because
Yeah.
she hasn't shut up for the last
Yeah.
45 minutes. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
her voice is not there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So, analyzing.
And
Dang.
basically, he says, "I understand that Thomas got to a point with his technology where there was actual certain viabilities, feasibilities, at the very least, quite a bit of data that would be reasonable to look over. I'd like to make you an offer, and your friends are more than welcome to be parlayed to this. However, this offer would extend exclusively to you. My offer would be this. I would like for you to come and understudy when you could. I don't want to impose on whatever busy schedule you may have. I mean, a growing young man like yourself needs time to experience the world outside of this place. You may stay as long as you like, but so long as you come in once a week, generally I give a lecture among the fellows here. Um, Many people are here on fellowship and internship programs. I give lectures weekly. So long as you show up to that lecture, and then afterwards we can have a private conversation, maybe even in a diner very much like this one, specifically this one if you like, I would be willing to offer you a reasonable amount of money. But more importantly, I would be willing to offer you a degree of autonomy within certain labs here in Artis, under supervision, of course. But if, for instance, something caught your fancy, say you wanted to do research into particular bionics, well, Anodyne Diagnostics, their headquarters is quite literally here in Artis. You could go over, speak to someone, say that you know me, and you would be able to talk to some of the greatest minds of cyberware in the world. Say you were interested in propulsion for some reason. Well, Azure Aeronautical is located here as well on the campus. You'd be able to walk over there. Hell, you might even be able to meet their CEO. Quite an accomplishment. And you guys would know, Azure Aeronautical has one of them Playboy CEOs. You know the type that kind of want to buy Twitter at the moment,
Oh,
or are trying to back
gross.
out of buying Twitter. Yeah, who just recently had a gross sex scandal about him. Yeah, that kind of guy. He's very much the kind of like, like ball and flash. I'm a cool guy. You know what I
oh,
mean? I
the
don't have
kind
his
of guy that
name.
just suddenly switches parties. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Virtual.
yeah.
So fucking.
Um, uh, but yeah, he's like, Artis is a veritable treasure trove of knowledge, and You understand the state of things. Looking around here, it's obvious why we have to be selective. But if you're willing to work with me, I would be willing to work with you. I don't expect an answer right now, of course. You can take all the time you want, but preferably it's, what is it? Noon on a Monday? Well, my lecture is in 5 days. And he reaches into a bag beside him and pulls out a lanyard. And he says, "You bring in this visitor pass on Friday if you want. If you come to this lecture, I will assume that means that you would be willing to work with me, and we can get earnestly into some progress to help people."
I take the pass and I was like, it sounds great, but like you said, I'm gonna have to have time to contemplate it. It sounds perfect, but things that sound perfect, is it for me? You know?
Yeah. And before you can even finish, he smiles and starts nodding. You know what I mean? He's like, "I understand. This is a Willy Wonka moment." To use a dated reference. That was a book that I read when I was young. But this is
Good
certainly, I
movie
would be
too.
say what?
Good movie too.
He kind of goes, "Gene Wilder is wonderful in it." But
Yes,
whatever the
that's the right
case.
one.
Yeah, he kind of smiles and goes, "Whatever the case, I understand. I would be incredulous of this as well. But full transparency with you, between you and me, this place could use some new blood. Everyone here is someone who's gone to college for essentially their entire life, groomed entirely for the scientific community. Do you know what your dad did before he became a scientist?"
My research is a little limited on what he did. I was looking at the science of it, and I hadn't really looked at the personal uh, thing of what
And
my
he kind of
dad was.
smiles and he goes, "Your father was working under the table for EMED. And before that, he was a Yacht representative. And you know what he was before that? He worked construction with he worked construction with Hephaestus. Your father didn't even go to college until he was already here in Artis. And that's the thing. He was on to one of the greatest discoveries that's ever happened in the history of humanity, something that could venture us farther than we could ever imagine. Imagine the practical applications. The ability to heal neurological divides and even potentially create new vessels for people. Well, space travel would never be a problem again. You just store a couple extra bodies, keep them on low maintenance mode. Or leaders who could be kept alive indefinitely, people who've collected wisdom for centuries. And that all came from someone who, before he came here, had never even stepped foot on a college campus.
Or
I
maybe
think.
leaders
Mhm.
that nobody wants to keep around, but have enough money to keep themselves alive forever and can just stomp on the little people.
And he kind of looks at you and goes, "Well, granted, but I
Yeah.
don't think that we should let a few bad apples ruin the bunch."
Well, you've got to think about it, right? Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Okay, computer, you stop that.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, and he kind of goes, "Well, the ethical implications of the use of this, to be perfectly honest with you, aren't even a decision I'm allowed to make. The ethical implications are the creation of this. If you think about it, this technology, whether we want it to or not, is going to be put together. It's going to be used. Maybe it's 100 years from now, maybe it's 1,000 years from now, but it'll happen. I have no doubt in my mind. The groundwork has already been laid by both your father and my research. All it takes is one smart cookie to crack it. I would rather be the one to make sure that this gets implemented initially in its testing phase ethically as possible. I can't think of the ghoulish things that people might do to vulnerable and less fortunate people under the guise of science. No, this, and he kind of points towards Clarice and goes, this vessel is a much more ethical way to test this, and it's very costly as well. Much of my grant money goes into securing these as test subjects, where instead, most certainly I could go into any old war-torn area. I believe Canal Belt South at the moment, if I have read the news correctly, is quite unpleasant at the moment. Someone less ethical than... Yeah, and he goes, someone less ethical than myself might go into Canal Belt South and offer food and water, and then before you know it, personalities within people are being replaced. I wish to be the safe shepherd of this technology. And I think that you seem like the kind of person who also wants to ethically do this, right?
Just off top,
Yes, sir.
as he was saying this, was this
Uh-huh.
perhaps a veiled threat that he was just making?
You know, with that, make me one more human perception.
This whole lunch has been a threat.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely it has.
Well,
It's a fucking snake's den right now. Yeah. Yeah. That was maybe not even intentionally a threat, but it was definitely, there is an implication that he knew would be there if he said that. Whether he meant it or not, you're not sure, but you know he knows the implication of that sentence.
Okay.
He's certainly playing like he didn't, though. You know. He's doing a damn good job, too.
You know, can I just... I'll tell you later.
Okay. And he says, think on it. And he snaps his fingers, and the whole diner goes back to exactly the way it was. The kid on the ground who fell off the swing kind of crumples, and then, you know, he starts crying, and then this mother comes by and kind of helps him up and looks at a scraped knee, you know, fucking this whole show, right? And he says, Clarice, could we get a few to-go boxes, please? Paper ones. There's too much BPA in styrofoam. She goes, well, certainly, hon. We don't have anything but paper to-go boxes. He goes, I know. Sorry. Sometimes you have to humbly brag about trying to keep people safe. And she kind of walks to the back. And he addressed you guys when he said the I know. You know. And she comes back with boxes and says, now, are y'all splitting the check, or is this going to be on one? And then, you know, he and Clarice both kind of laugh at the same time. And she goes, y'all have a wonderful day now. And she kind of walks back into the kitchen.
Then he looks back at us. Really, guys, I don't have any money. I thought you guys were gonna pay.
Yeah.
Does feed ever come back after that's done?
Your feed comes back as soon as his fingers snap.
Hmm.
And he says, so, please feel free to take this. If you want anything else, Linus, the fry cook, would be more than willing to whip you something up. Do not worry about shortage. If you want to take home a bag of 100 burgers, I'm sure we could whip it up for you in about 10, maybe 20 minutes. Of course, they'll get cold by the time you get home, maybe, depending on how fast this one drives, and kind of points at you, Scene. And you don't remember telling him you were the driver?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I would expect there's as many cameras here, if not more, than we have in our club.
Oh,
He's probably watched us from the street.
Yeah, and at this point, the security guard kind of stands up and kind of grunts, and Alphonse kind of looks and goes, "Tinkle break," as the guard kind of walks towards the bathroom again.
Strange, but okay. Out of character, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed, I guess, to taking some burgers for a couple other people.
Yeah. And so you guys get a couple extra burgers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
I just finish what's on my plate and don't get any more.
Yeah, Suzerain, by the way, has been very quiet this whole time. She's been eating, and she's been quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm waiting to ask her questions so we get back to the car about her input, and then go into talking to Lucky first.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys get a couple other burgers, and maybe Dr. Alphonse kind of makes some small talk along the way. Nothing crazy. Shit that's just like probably local New Amsterdam sports or some shit. And the weird thing about sports in New Amsterdam is New Amsterdam has a football club. Literally none of the poor people in this town give a shit about the football club. It's kind of the opposite of how like football clubs work in a lot of European countries, where like kind of the lower class are a big fan of football, and the upper class are kind of a little more hoity-toity about other stuff. No. Football is the rich man's sport. The poor man's sport is not dying while working. But yeah, he probably was just like, yes, the New Amsterdam FC is doing quite well. Have you guys been following that sort of thing while you're getting your shit?
Like,
Well,
I don't have a clue about sports.
you
You guys,
know what? Scene has a
mhm,
very, very passing amount of knowledge about it because it's
absolutely.
something that I would keep an eye on for
Yeah,
case like
absolutely.
I ever need to fit into a situation like that.
No, that totally makes sense. Yeah, so the New Amsterdam FC is in fact doing pretty good, but it's not. It's pretty early in the season. It's too early to call anything. It's sports small talk. Something that Gunnar could probably run a lot better than I can.
Right.
You know.
Not better than I could. I don't know anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, but yeah, you guys get all your shit. And do you guys ask him anything specific before you go? Because he probably has something to say to you before you go. But like
Um,
before that, do you have anything you ask
since
or
since
talk to him
Trinix
about?
hasn't really asked about it, I would actually specify. I would say, do you know anything about was it alpha brainwaves and
Uh,
comas?
um, yeah, alpha waves
Do you know anything about alpha waves and
or alpha
bringing
coma rather.
or an alpha coma and bringing a patient back from that state?
He says, well, actually, that's kind of the whole specialty right now. You see, when we print these things out, anytime we've tried to put actual intelligence in them, they either seize up or they go into an alpha coma. It's almost as if they have some sort of, it's similar to net damage.
And is net damage something that can be repaired?
Well, and he kind of shifts around a little bit uncomfortably and goes, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that it is doable. No, in the sense that it is difficult, and it is certainly not one size fits all. It's a somewhat dangerous and expensive procedure.
And what about a patient in an alpha coma having physical movements?
A patient in an alpha coma having physical movements. Well, that's certainly, well, not unique, but it's certainly rare. It's something that would be. Do you have a certain case in mind? Have you read an article, or do you know someone?
It was an article that I had read and I talked to him about. And it was just something that was interesting. And the fact that you're a neuro, um, I figured you might have, we figured you might have a clue about it.
He kind of goes, well, I'm certainly not sure of that article. And he kind of gives you a comms number, a phone number, and he goes, if you ever find that article, please give me a call. And honestly, Trinix, give me a call at any point if you think of any questions between now and that lecture. I cannot promise you I'll answer, but I can promise you I'll call you back if I'm busy at the moment that you call.
Yeah, you, the fact that you took time out of your day for this, was all your research and stuff, is just, well, I understand.
Yeah,
Probably very busy.
he says, yes, I definitely wanted to with Mr. Lorna here, I wanted to make an impression. I really wanted to sell quite well, but to be perfectly honest with you, I know that this is one of the most illogical things I could think of a scientist, or as a scientist, but I often think that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, and, well, if you're even half as brilliant as your father was, well, certainly you would be an asset to Artis. And if you want to join up here, I can certainly tell you there are scholarships, comprehensive scholarships that we might be able to offer, even potentially for studying abroad if you wish to travel.
I spent most of my life in this. I never thought about leaving. That was never a consideration.
He goes, Trenix, there is a whole world out there. I've seen quite a bit of it. Some places ugly, some places beautiful. I'd say that where we are is quite in the middle. Not Artis, but New Amsterdam as a whole. It's a difficult city to love, but to be honest with you, it's the one that took me in, so.
I got you. I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a lot of information presented in a very short amount of time, and I like to analyze the data from what you said, and get it laid out and understand. My brain don't work the same as most normal people, and it's just the way my brain works, and I have to analyze every little thing.
He
Yeah,
goes, yeah, and he goes, well, analysis is the first step in finding out what worked and what didn't. Kind of says, and I'm sure with your friends who were watching as well, I'm sure that they'll have a few things to talk about as well. I'm not going to say that everything I've ever done is exactly above above board, but I can tell you that everything I've done has been to help and to push forward humanity. And if you want to help with that situation, if you want to help with that end, that goal, I would be more than happy to take you under my wings so that we can. And he reaches out his hand to give you a handshake.
like after he says that last little bit of sentence, his face kind of Trinity's face has changes a little bit, but he's like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, well, end goal. He thinks in his head like, well, end goal, maybe, yeah, whatever, and shakes his hand.
Yeah, kind of smiles and goes, the cart is waiting for you outside. Again, autonomous driver. Another one of the technological marvels of Artis, but I don't think I need to sell you on this place being advanced or somewhere interesting for someone like you. I simply figured I'd point it out. But I hope that you have a wonderful day. If you have anything at all, reach out to me. I will gladly speak to you. And make sure while you're out there, make sure to stay safe. There are a lot of people who would like to hurt many people in this world. I hope that you don't become one of them.
I just like helping people, but I get, yeah.
Yeah. And he probably says, well, I need to return to my work. This lunch break has taken much longer than I had told my lab. I'm sure they'll be fine without me. Hopefully, they haven't blown anything up. Kidding. Any sort of destructive testing happens over in Boston Dynamics. Those bastards are crazy. And he kind of says with like this big grin on his face, and he says, well, Toodle, and it was a pleasure meeting all of the rest of you. I hope you all have a wonderful day as well. And he walks out, and the autonomous vehicle gives two little beep beep. You know what I mean?
Right.
As it pulls up to the front.
This vehicle, it's
Uh-huh.
autonomous because it has a driver, but if the driver's not there, can it be driven manually?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's autonomous because the driver is not a real person,
I'm
essentially.
going to sit up front.
Okay, you're sitting up front.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll sit back in the back and just sit down quietly.
Yeah.
And I don't say anything until we're completely out of this zone.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That's.
good. That gives me time. Go ahead.
I think that is also exactly what Suzerain is going to do. Just not say a word until you guys are firmly out of here.
Right. It's really quiet for like all of us.
It's quiet for everybody but Trinix. In your
Yeah.
head, you hear everything about this sounds really weird and a little wrong, and I'm concerned for you, and I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life. However, if he can do that with what he's got going on there, he can do that to the rest of us. He can do that to everybody. That's really sketch. Like, how far are you pushing the limits of technology to the point to where you're trying to play God? And I'm just going to kind of go on a small, gentle rant because it's not like at Trinix. It's more like, the fuck is going on here, man? Like,
Yeah.
everything about this
Okay,
is.
I have a general question about what you could. Do I have to verbally say what I want to out
Yes.
loud for you to hear it?
Because you do not have a subvocal processor, which would be necessary to do things like talk without talking. You do, in fact, unless you like. Do you have a embedded agent in your head?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so the only other way around it would be if you had an embedded agent, you would be able to type out texts in your head. But no, if you want to communicate with her, you'll either have to take your agent and text her, or you'd have to say things out loud.
Yeah, at this point, halfway through the thing, I might send her a text and be like, yeah, there's things about my dad that you don't even know that I do in a
Yeah.
text to her.
And-
Sure.
Right,
I mean,
and-
I don't claim to know.
right. And you guys finally get back to the van. Scene, they hand you a bug detector, and they say, it's clean, you can check it if you want.
Thanks. And I just hand it back.
Yeah. Yeah, so all of you load into the van. Scene, you are escorted out of Artis, and you are in the Jewish quarter now. Immediately, Suzerain says, I don't like him. I don't like anything about him. I don't like him. I don't like his projects. I think that he's completely a lie. And if he's thinking that he is for the better of humanity, he's fucking scary.
What's your brother's name again? Trinix,
Thomas Lorna.
Thomas. I after she says, I was like, oh, he was going to kill Thomas Lorna. That was the plan of that meeting. But we just turned it over on its head, and now he's in it for something else.
Kind of, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. What? None of y'all. I've looked at Spade's notes and everything
Oh,
that he's
Spade.
done, research into, and everything that he's done. That dude had our father killed.
I would have said Spade, by the way. I forgot Thomas was Spade.
Yeah.
He had our father killed and stole his research. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's why he has the power he does. It's because he stole the technology from my dad. And that's the only hesitation I have, is that he's going to kill me once I finish the work. But to get the information to save that one, to save the dude in the basement, in the hospital, brain, can't remember his name, but Hank, yeah, Hank. The only way to get that technology to bring him back would be, we're torn between what we do and what we don't want to do. I have to be. This is why I got to talk to Lucky. But yeah, Spate was going to take him down and take the research for himself. That's what he was doing. I don't know if he shared it with the youth scene, but that's what all his notes and stuff were about, is taking that man down.
Well, he certainly spoke well about your father for being the one who killed him.
Oh, there was a lot of tension. He was trying to dig to find out if Trinix knew about that or not.
Yeah,
I think if Trinix gave any sign that he knew, we were all going to get shot.
that's why I didn't say anything about. That's why I alluded that I didn't have a clue what happened, and I hadn't looked at the information that Spate had at all, and because I knew, knowing that what he did to my dad, that if I said I knew anything, all of us would be dead right now.
Thanks. I'm just security. I guess I don't matter.
Well, not all of us. I might have been on Get Out.
I mean, yeah, the guy had the body that, well, any sort of robotics expert would love. But maybe I could have gotten a couple of shots in.
Oh, possibly.
I
Oh
hope
my
I
you've got
just
a
made you
board killer gun,
paranoid
too.
with
Yeah,
my little
like-
comment there.
What?
I was saying, I just hope I made Payne Dexter paranoid with that comment I put in there.
Oh, yeah.
At
I-
this
I
point,
would.
whenever
Go ahead.
I am not trusting that food entirely until we get it checked, and then I'll eat it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text Scene and be like, he killed my audio. He killed my audio and my video. Everything completely cut out. That guy
Oh,
knew I
yeah.
was watching.
And I would state something that I noticed when Cash stopped talking.
I tried to be pretty quiet, but I'm sure that you would hear like background noise or like he'd say something and I'd be like, huh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was entirely intentional. I
I-
think there might be some kind of mass wave emitter that shut everything down, which affected connection.
He stated the people that you have watching us. He knew that she was on the other end of that line. He knew for a
Mhm.
fact
Mm.
because he said the people that you have watching us.
Yes,
He-
but it could have still
Yeah,
been
he
the
did
same
say,
emitter.
and I know the people watching you will probably have questions too. Specifically, is the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I still would go with the argument that whatever he activated was probably some white emitter that just wiped all communication in that area, which would have shut down anything, probably
Oh,
whatever those
I'll
things were.
remind you, by the way, that feed didn't cut until halfway through him cutting the robot.
Oh, then never mind. Rewind. We'll just retcon all. I thought it cut right when he snapped his fingers, and it cut right when
Oh,
he got.
no. He was showing
Oh.
off the robots, and then the second shit got real with the offer, that's when it cut.
Never mind. Retcon all that. I'm
Yeah,
just be like,
yeah.
okay, well, that might be one of the reasons we didn't get killed right there.
Yeah.
Was
Because I mean, in my eyes, if we all would have died, if I were lucky, or just Cash, there would have been a great opportunity to get every person on the street riled up about the fact they have all this advanced technology out there with real meat.
Real meat,
drug
man.
people.
Real meat.
I 100% recorded every bit of it too.
Oh, yeah.
What was that name?
Huh?
What was that doctor's name?
Dr. Alphonse?
Alphonse.
Or Dr. Alphonse Jabbar is what it is.
Okay. Like Jafar.
But Jabbar. Gabbar.
Oh, I missed a B. Okay. I'm going to put this in the chat. But not really, it's just mostly. This is what I was working on while you guys were having
Nice.
I know. It was just you
Hold
fucking
on, let me
snake.
spell it correctly. Because it is a foreign name, so it needs a little bit more. It is a foreign name of two separate origins for the first and last name. So obviously the spelling is going to be a little weird, but yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
fucking
my spelling was way off. No close to any of that. Man.
I love hearing that. Like every once in a while I have a character and people be like, "Wow, that's supposed to be an S?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, yeah.
All I have to say is, well, it's spelled like Alphonse is normally spelled.
Yeah.
sure.
Alf?
Because everyone spells Alphonse all the time.
ONSE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, you
And then Jabbar
guys...
is just like Babar.
Yeah!
Or like
Total
Kareem
Bavar.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, actually, yes. Actually, that's a good question. Is that how you spell Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Actually, he only has one B.
Does he?
I'm pretty sure.
No, he has two.
Okay, then I was right in the first place, and I second guessed myself.
You did, but you know what? It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you were right at least at one part of it. So yeah, you guys are driving back, kind of having this conversation. And as you guys are driving back, we're gonna cut back to the club. So, Connor, you're sitting at the front of the club, and you see a couple people come up, right? They're by you. At this point, it's about noon, right? You're probably here because you're either killing time, or maybe you've got a small job, or maybe someone just asked you to wait around. You know what I mean? Hell, maybe you just wanted Pierre's company. That dude almost never sleeps, it seems. He's always fucking working. Um, and as you're kind of sitting at the bar, two kind of frat looking dudes come up right next to you. And keep in mind, the bar is pretty wide open. It's fucking noon. You know what I mean? So it's not like the place is jam packed or anything. They're like, hey, yo, give me a Heineken. It's like, yeah, man, I hear it's the local specialty. Give me a Heine. And fucking Pierre, consummate as ever, it's like, as you wish, kind of walks up and hands them a couple Heinekens, and one looks over and goes, man, this is fucking cool. A real fucking edge runner bar? Dude, how fucking sick is this shit? And looks over, and the other guy, these guys are both obviously drunk. He's like, look, that's a real fucking edge runner right there. I wonder how long he's been fucking doing it. And like, you're 2 feet away from these guys, and they're pointing at you and talking about you in the third person. How does Connor handle that, first and foremost?
He very politely bites his tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they don't make it physical, Connor's just going to let them yap their flaps all around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He goes, probably one of them kind of sits at the stool next to you and goes, hey, man, how long you been doing this, man? Like, you look like serious biz. Like, you could probably kick someone's ass.
Connor just sort of turns and looks at him up and down. Longer than you've been alive.
He goes, whoa, that's the sick as fuck. And the other dude's like, yeah, man, that's cool as fuck. He goes like, hey, my name's Derek and this is Eric. I know, fucking weird coincidence. But like, dude, like, okay, like, did you come to this place because like it's like an edge runner bar and like you might run into other edge runners? Like, do you do cool like fucking like James Bond shit and shit out here? Like some gangbanger shit, just like gah, 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 you know what I mean?
Laddie, where's this leading to?
No,
Because
I'm
I
just
could string you along, but really, like, what you looking for?
and like the other guy's like, shit, man, I'm just like, listen, like this place is cool as fuck. I just want to like see what this shit is like. He was like, yeah, man, fucking he's like, yeah, man, fucking, this is so cool. Like, listen, we got into town like a couple days ago, like, and we're just like taking in the fucking local vistas, dog.
Where'd you fly in from?
He's like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, man, we're from fucking NYU. It's fucking lit out there. You would not believe the bitches. I mean, listen, we went to Club Fuck last night. That shit was pretty fucking crazy. but like, man, like there's some fucking. You ever been to NYU, dude? Like fucking crazy ragers.
Oh, great. A bunch of Yankees.
Probably is like, hey man, that's like a good baseball team. What are you, a fucking Sox fan or something?
You learn to play a real sport like football.
He goes, nah, man. My man Eric fucking passed along a pigskin. You know, actually, he was a fucking linebacker. He didn't actually touch the football or whatever. But you know how it fucking goes, man. Eric. And he's like, yeah, man. Fucking. And like fucking pounds his chest. And you notice he's big and he's in college. So he's like in pretty good shape. He's a total fucking dumbass frat bro, but he's in shape.
Connor just thinks to himself, like, why today? Why
Yeah.
me?
And probably at
What,
this
what
point,
did I do to deserve this, Lord?
right? And probably at this point he goes, listen, my buddy Eric, okay. So hold on. And like reeks of fucking booze. He throws his arm around your shoulder like you're his fucking buddy. Do you react to that while he's about to say something?
I just look at his hand, but okay.
Yeah.
It's not
He's like,
threatening.
yeah, and you can smell the booze on his breath. You know, he's like, my buddy Eric here, he can mess some people up. And like, he's been wanting to get like some fucking like street cred. You know what I mean? Like fucking part of the reason we came here, fucking, you know what they say about the Napple? This shit's dangerous, right? So like, okay, I'm trying to hook my buddy up with some shit. Maybe myself too. I wouldn't mind making a couple euro dollars while I'm out here, right? A little bit of Skrilla. But like, do you like know anything that like we could get in on? Like a heist or like I don't know, even just like knocking over a store or some shit or like some dude who owes you money. Like you need some shit done, dude.
He still has his hand on me, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely he does.
Oh, I remove it.
Okay.
It's like,
You remove it and he's like, "Whoa, man."
look, I'm not a criminal. I don't go out and gang bang people or kill someone just for the hell of it. Or rob a store. I buy my shit. I'm legit. I get hired by corporations and other organizations to go do stuff that doesn't want to be known. If you want to go do the thing, just go out and do it.
He goes, at this point, Derek looks at Eric and goes, "Holy shit, this dude's Black Ops." Whoa. Like both of them whoa at the same time. He's like, "That's some wise fucking words."
Why
Fucking,
am I picturing Bill and Ted?
I think more like meathead and head made of meat. Um,
Okay.
you know.
Hulk and Skull.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's like, that's some good fucking advice. Hey, dude, and like they at this point they kind of have turned away from you, almost as if you don't exist. Not because they're like being dicks intentionally, but they're drunk frat boys. What the fuck do you expect?
They're clueless.
So
Yeah,
there's Larry and Moe. Where's Curly?
yeah, and they're like, yo,
Curly's probably puking in the alleyway.
Yeah.
And Shep. You can't forget Shep.
Oh, absolutely. Shep is back at home studying because he actually wants to graduate from NYU. But no, he's like, dude, remember that fucking Choo spot? The one on the corner? Yeah, that fucking dude looked at us like a fucking dick. Fucking prick. Let's fucking do it. And fucking, like, it's like, yeah, man, I passed a vending machine that sold 45s. How fucking cool is that shit? And it's like, that's gangster. And fucking, dude like pulls out an egg chip and hands it like to Pierre and goes, "Whatever he's drinking, next one, that's on me." And fucking like, "Thanks, dude. You're cool as fuck, spooky dude." And fucking like both of them like fucking start heading out.
I
Pierre, oh,
I
go
just
ahead.
look at Pierre and go, should I stop them?
Pierre's like, "I don't know. What sort of moral compass are you willing to hold? And what sort of assholery are you willing to suffer?"
Pierre's legit.
2 quick headshots and it would just be over.
Probably not in the bar. I do not believe Ms. Lucky would enjoy 2 foreign college
Oh,
students.
I would not do it in her bar. I have more
Hmm.
respect for her than that.
He kind of smiles and goes, "Good. That is a good habit to take." He
I,
kind
I might use
of,
the roof of the bar, but I won't do it inside the bar.
yeah. And he goes, "If you want my opinion," and he leans in and goes, "I would leave the suffering to Jesus. I think that you have earned a little bit of not having to deal with stupid bullshit." And he kind of leans back as he starts pouring you another scotch.
Yeah, yeah, right. Stupid is as stupid does. They'll get themselves killed. I don't need to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And he smiles and goes, "Besides, I have it on good authority. The man who runs that that Chutu station that they were talking about, he has a shotgun behind the counter."
That's a good piece of heat to pack in a place like that.
Oof.
You
You
just
would
don't
be
want to hit the pumps.
yeah, he's just like, "Hey, you'd be a fool to not bring some sort of weapon when you're running a bodega. Most people would,
Yeah,
how you say, expire much quicker than the produce, no?"
that's true. Anyway, how much is on
Yeah.
that cred chip?
He goes, "Let me run it." Kind of swipes it and goes, "Hmm, well, 300. Not a lot, but more than enough to cover whatever you want. Of course, drinks on the house for you."
300's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes back to drinking his scotch.
Yeah. And probably Pierre leaves it on the bar, and
Yeah.
kind of, or go ahead.
Oh no, it's like, yeah, I might pick it up, I might not. I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't pick it up, Pierre will put it in the tip jar. But if you do pick it up, it's no hurt feelings. Um, but yeah, and kind of as you guys are kind of having this conversation, we actually cut up to Lucky. Lucky, you received a text. Or no, you didn't actually. Lucky, you are sitting in your office, right? And as you're kind of doing whatever you're doing, first things first, Cash, make me an interface roll.
Okay.
Were you still wanting to get into that data vault?
Yeah, might as well. She's gonna be mad when she catches me, but yeah.
Okay. So, Lucky, you're up there and you actually get a notification, right, that there is someone trying to breach a data vault a private data vault that is here. And I'll say, you're looking at it. First things first, it's coming from inside the place. Second things second, it's coming from the med bay. It's pretty obvious who's probably doing this. But
Yeah.
the interesting thing is, you don't know what this data vault is.
I'm sorry, you want to run that by me again? Are you saying there is something in my own business I do not know about?
Yes, Lucky has no idea about this thing.
Did
Holy
you
shit.
just fucking tell me that there is something in my business that is foreign to me?
Yeah, well,
I'm
it's
just
right.
wrapping my head around what you've just said, making sure I am not going deaf.
No, no,
Oh,
no.
you heard
So,
it right.
so Lucky, you're looking at this, at this thing, and it near mirrors your normal data collection area, but it's a little bit bigger.
All right, so first things first, I'm going to disconnect it from internals.
Okay, well, it's not like a. Okay, yeah, actually, you would have the
Basically,
ability to
just
do
kind
that.
of freeze it at the moment because I know someone wants in it.
So it comes up, and to disconnect it, you need the administrator password.
All right, do I know the admin password?
Lucky does not know the admin password.
Excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh.
You try your normal admin password for like normal day-to-day bar networky shit.
That's fine.
It doesn't work.
That's fine. Does it look like access is hold on.
Well, first of all, it doesn't look like Cash is getting access to this. Cash, you're trying to hack this thing, and you don't know who put this in, but this is some expert hacking. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, this is like whoever did this was like 20 out of 10. Like you could do it, it'll take you a while though. And you can already tell you're a good enough hacker. You can tell the system has already started to red flag. Lucky is gonna know that you're like getting into this.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that. I don't want her to be mad at me, but I just can't help my curiosity sometimes.
Well, I respect it. That's a Netrunner trademark.
Yeah. And
If you have something secret from a Netrunner and you expect it to stay secret from a Netrunner, then you're an idiot for hiring a Netrunner in the first place.
Yeah.
right.
Okay. So I doubt um I doubt I know the physical location of this server because again, it is unknown to me. But I can take a fucking guess. Let me check my desk.
Okay. You are looking around your desk, and weirdly enough, you open your drawer where you have your storage center. You know, it's not too big. You've been meaning to upgrade it. It's only like 500 terabytes or something like that. You need more, right? You need like petabytes if you're going to be keeping stuff on the scale. But you see an identical model right next to it that's marked with a single dot of red tape. And you have never seen this before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just marked with some red tape.
Yeah, just a dot of red tape.
Well, first things first is I'm going to disconnect its power supply.
Okay, yeah, you disconnect it. Cache, you can tell. It says device forcibly removed from network.
Yeah. Shit. Well, sorry. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna-
fucking text Lucky and be like, my bad, dog. I was just curious.
You're not going to get a response just yet because
That's fine.
who the All right, Mike.
I think you might have broke Gunner a little bit.
I am going to start reviewing security footage
specialty.
from the past 3 days, I guess, to fucking figure out who planted this. And why the fuck in my damn office?
So you're going over security footage, and you're the person who has final access on security footage. It's just how
Right.
you've set yourself up. You go through your security footage, and you find that there is an hour-long gap In fact, there's several gaps lasting anywhere from 2 minutes to a couple hours in your office. And then you think, well, what if I look at my like because you're looking at your cameras, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then you look at bar wide cameras and you notice there's a couple other gaps that have been scrubbed just across the bar at random times. You're not entirely sure. And it's probably about this time you hear a knock on your door.
All right, I shut my drawer. Yeah, what?
Scav opens the door clumsily, and he's kind of carrying 2 bowls of ramen, and goes, "Hey, I happened to be over by the apartment earlier, and I got bored and figured I'd come by. Hope you don't mind some company. I got some ramen."
That's fine. I'm just put it on the desk. I'm sorry. I'm dealing with some. Do you know what this is? She says, pulling out the data drive with the red tape on it.
And he looks and goes, "If I was a smartass, I'd say it's a data drive. But I think you're probably wanting something more specific. I couldn't tell you." And he sets the ramen on the table.
God damn
2
it.
soft-boiled eggs, just like you like.
Hmm.
He's like, "Why? What is it?"
We've got a mole somewhere, and I don't fucking know what. I don't know what this is, and I can't get into it. It's in my bar, and I don't have access to it.
He's like, "Whoa. Well, who's had access to your office?"
I don't fucking know, because somebody has scrubbed my fucking feeds.
They what?
They scrubbed my fucking feeds.
He's like, "You mean like they deleted shit?"
More like they went in with a scalpel and carefully carved out exactly what they didn't want us to see.
Whoa. And he's like, he kind of sits down because Scav has been with you for like 4 months now. He knows, 1, you have had control taken from you, and 2, it takes a lot of skill to take control from you. And he sits down and goes, "Oh, that's bad.
You're telling me
Uh, do we call, oh fuck, do we call like a bar meeting, or
when they get back from Artis, let them know that we're going to be having a meeting.
Yeah, I can do that. I think I saw Connor down in the bar, and Serum's fucking around."
Don't say anything about this drive, all right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll. Yeah. Who all's here? Oh yeah. I could go and get cash as well if you want. Do you want me to wheel her up here or something?
That's fine, or have Trixie do it, I guess.
Kind of. That's probably better that her girlfriend does that.
It's
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah. And
You know, we haven't discussed rules on this channel, or at least this game, for PvP. What are our rules for PvP here, guys?
I'm not afraid to body slam someone to the ground. You've already seen that.
True.
I'm specifically saying, which one of you is fucking with my cameras?
Okay, listen, I hate to say this. I have access to all your cameras.
Yeah, you do.
So I automatically am implicated, and I'm frustrated about that.
And so,
yeah, and actually, oh, go ahead.
Basically, what I'm saying is
only have access to the ones in the med bay.
Basically, what I'm saying to whoever the fuck is doing this is, if you guys are comfortable with doing shit like that, are we okay with me taking matters into my own hands when I find you?
For it.
That's a good question. Yeah.
As a player, I have no issue with it.
Yeah.
Any issue?
I'm cool with that.
taking
Show me
Oh, that's
data box
fine.
whenever I let you do.
taking shit away, stepping away for a sec. If you guys
Yeah.
are, I don't actually plan on necessarily doing that unless I'm right and it is one of you guys, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
I-
So
I'll have a
I'm fine with
discussion
it.
with you guys.
okay. Okay. And then Scott, are you okay with it?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's how this world works, isn't it?
Absolutely. And Amy, just to double check, I think you said you're cool with it, but also just to
Yeah,
double check. Okay. Sick.
Notice how he asked Scott specifically. I wonder why.
Oh no, no, I'm literally trying to parse this out of game. Uh,
So, yeah,
but no, yeah. So, everyone is cool with potential PvP if it is warranted.
Yep.
okay.
Okay. Cool. All right. Good to hear. So anyway, yeah, I think that Scav probably, Connor, a little bit after you have these guys come and like hassle you or whatever, Scav comes up and he goes, "Hey, there's gonna be a meeting here in I don't know," and he kind of like looks at a GPS and then goes, "Whenever the fuck they get back from Artis, this shit's hush hush and it's pretty serious. So just be on your toes, okay?"
Let's put it this way. Do I need to break out Bessie?
Kind of goes, "I hope not."
Okay.
Yeah. And he kind of pats you on the back. Probably maybe slightly awkwardly, but you know, Scav's an awkward guy in general. He's just trying to make friends. Um and Amy,
Yeah.
Trixie, kind of knock knock, you know, like on the side of the open medbay door.
Hi. Hi? What are you doing?
Hey,
So pretty today. You're so pretty every day, but I just want you to know you're pretty today.
hey, thank you. You are pretty usually as well right now. You could use some work, but you're doing good.
You don't have to sugarcoat it. I know what I look like. It's awesome.
And she kind of grins and goes, "Listen, something isn't right. Something freaked Lucky out. Scav came to me looking like a ghost, and he only does that whenever Lucky yells at him, and it didn't seem like he was upset that Lucky had just yelled at him. So I think something's fucked."
Um, you know, that's awesome. I am probably in trouble.
She goes, uh, "Can I ask what you did?"
Well, it's funny story. So I can see all the cameras and it's very fun. And I've been making up all of these lovely little backstories for these people while I sit here, waiting for my body to molt. Uh and uh it's just such a good time for me. And then I happen to like come across this database that I hadn't quite seen before. And I was like, huh. And then I tried to crack it, and then it went offline. So I think that Lucky probably took it offline, and she's probably mad at me. So I have to eat a little crow and kiss a little ass and apologize for trying to dip into something I was probably not supposed to dip into. And I am going to probably have a full ass reaming, which is the irony because I don't know how much of that I have left. And I'm gonna like lean on the bed and I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna point at it to her and I'm gonna be like, "How's my breasts and thighs? They look
And
okay?"
she's like, "They look exactly like they should when they've been fried. Now, come on, let's get you in a chair. You might need to do a little more than ass kissing, but I am here for you. I am." She tries to say shit. I will. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Don't. It's we're gonna be everything's fine. Maybe I
And
can
she
get
kind
some
of
sympathy.
pauses and goes, "I don't think you understand."
Yeah.
Scav looked about 2 seconds away from crying.
It's
That's
That's normal.
It's so hit and miss though with Scav. Like he's always kind of 2 seconds away from crying because Lucky's a tough woman to love. Like I get it.
Yeah.
I just, I mean, it just, I understand that you are trying to convey how serious the situation probably is. I just, I have so few fucks to give right now. Cause look at me.
Yeah.
I,
And
it's fine.
yeah, and she's like, okay, well, whatever. And she kind of puts you in the chair and goes, whatever the case, I'm obviously going to be in the meeting too. So,
Okay.
and she like kisses you on the top of the head and goes, let's go.
Okay, you know this feels like going to the principal's office. Hey, how's Taserface? Do you still like that name? Because I like that name.
She's like, Taserface is doing really well. And by really well, I mean he ate an entire half of my painting while I was out getting lunch.
I am so sorry. Babe, we should not have gotten a bunny. How do you feel about cybernetic enhancements?
She's like, we'll talk about it later. And like starts
Okay.
reeling you.
Okay.
All right, a
That's
right,
racist.
left jab, and then a kick to the balls.
Yeah. So those of you who were in Artis, you guys pull up to the bar. And as you pull up to the bar, a large swath of people are leaving the bar, right? Not like in a hurry or scared, just kind of like one of those things of like, okay, the scene's kind of turning. Like probably something like probably someone like Pierre essentially went, hey, bar's gonna be closed for maintenance for an hour, like sort of thing. Pierre's on top of shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the instant I see people leaving, I'm like, oh, it must be a meeting.
Yeah. And Suzerain's like, joy of joys. I wonder if she found out about the meeting or about our lunch or all the things that happened on the lunch before we got here, and she'll pretend to know everything about it without even being there.
Oh, good. I don't have to say as much. She already knows everything.
I mean, I could, but that would be
yeah.
metagaming, and I've never
It
done
would.
that in this game.
Oh no, never. Little Miss Cameras everywhere. But yeah, so you guys go into the bar and it is very clearly meeting time. Lucky, are you there yet? Because everyone else is there. Serum's there, you know,
Not
Scab's
yet.
there. Huh?
Not yet.
Okay. So yeah, everyone kind of gets there. Even Boris and I always forget the name of the head waitress. Let me look if I put it in my NPCs. I did not. God damn it.
Natasha.
Natasha? Let's see here. I might be able to get it from the other Roll20 or from the Roll20, but whatever the case, all of the heads of staff are there
here.
as well.
No, I've got it in my journal. One sec.
Oh, you do? Thank you.
Yep. General notes. Lisa.
Lisa, thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. I'll write
Oh,
that
is
down
Crusher
real quick.
there?
No. Oh, yeah, Crusher. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Crusher and Decibel are there.
Okay. But Lucky will be the last one to arrive.
Real quick, since I'm out of critical and now I'm just in serious condition, how do I look? Do I look better?
You have less bandages.
Am I still in a wheelchair?
For comfort reasons, you can be. You can walk around, but it hurts like a bitch.
Yeah, no, I shall be wheeled like a princess. Okay, continue.
Absolutely. One could only hope.
Right?
Like a sweet crippled princess.
Pretty. You're so pretty.
God. So yeah, Lucky, you come down. This is kind of, if it wasn't such a bad situation, this is exactly what you would want to see from a meeting. Literally everyone relevant to this situation is all lined up at the bar, and no one is drunk yet.
Well,
Yeah.
define that.
Scene is a little drunk, but that's not that's not that weird.
Scene's had a long day. It's time for a little bit of a drink.
Oh,
What do I
sure,
see
but
in everybody?
you're professional drinking. You're not like lose
Yes.
yourself drinking. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Connor's probably on like his fourth scotch or something.
But also, like, Connor's a tough son of a bitch. Like,
Oh, is our little friend here? By our little friend, I mean the eternal pain in my ass that is Violet.
yeah, Violet's here.
Good.
He probably like got like a hey, be here in less than 30 minutes for a meeting, probably with a snarky response that no one would have heard because it was Scav organizing it. That was just like, oh great, it's not like I had anything else going on. You know what I mean? But he's here. He looks a little annoyed.
Well,
You know,
that's okay because I'm annoyed with him.
General
Not.
Timbre.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
General timbre of the NPCs are Suzerain is still a little quiet and shaken, but she seems to be a little stress relieved after getting out of there and being able to be like, I don't like that guy. You know what I mean? Um, uh, Scav is nervous, but not like his normal nervous. He's much more like, oh shit, I know I didn't do anything, but shit's about to happen, so he's just waiting to see what he has to do. Violet's a little annoyed. Serum is curious, and he's covered in grease. He was working on the muscle car or whatever. But he's kind of like, he gets that it's a severe situation, but he's not all that concerned because he also is like, yeah, I didn't do shit. You know what I mean?
Head of the Dutchman is here.
Yes, Ulf Hednar is here. She is as serious as ever. She's a consummate professional. You know this. You've got Boris. Boris is a little unreadable right now, but when isn't he? He's kind of a shifty figure on a good day. You know, Lisa is counting tips. She's like barely paying attention. She's just like counting the tip jar and like doing some basic business calculation shit. And Pierre is standing behind the bar, uh, obviously catering to everyone's whim. And then Crusher and Decibel are both kind of shooting the shit. You know what I mean? They're just kind of, they're DJs. So, like, staff meeting about security for them is probably what they're considering is, oh, someone hacked the place. Well, it's not our problem, but like we still got to be here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of your NPC's timbre. What's everyone else's kind of vibe though, like the player characters?
I want to check on Suzerain. So I'm like, hey, kiddo, you okay? But other than that, I'm just like, I'm a little. I look guilty. I look
Yeah,
guilty.
Suzerain kind of shrugs and goes, "Yeah, I've been better. I've been worse."
Yeah. That place was
Um,
fucking awful, girl. Fucking
well,
awful.
the weirdest part is that it was so beautiful at the same time.
Oh, yeah. That's how they fucking rope you in. Did you eat any of that meat?
Yeah,
Was it good?
it was
Was it
so
good?
good.
Listen.
Was it good? Payne jumps into the
Oh,
conversation.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Trixie to cut this out of my brain dance, and I just will have to play it over and over again, tasting that food. That was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But that's how they get you, right? They give you all the pretty things, and then they make you feel like the life you're living is not worth it. And don't get me wrong, life can be so hard. I get it. But do not succumb to that bullshit because what you're eating is lies. It's fucking lies. It
But
is.
it's great tasting lies.
That's how they sell it, babe.
But I
Like,
wasn't buying it. I mean, I had it, I tasted it, I know what it tastes like, and if I get the brain dance cut out properly, I can have it anytime I want.
that's true, and
Also, you guys do smell burgers because they did in fact bring, we'll say, 10 burgers and some fries and shakes.
oh no.
And this
Yep.
might also remind Cash that, he was there for the part that she couldn't see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I know. I'm just
Um,
saying, like, that shit's dangerous.
Suzerain's like, if I'm being honest, I don't think that they're gonna invite Paindexter back though.
Oh no! What did you do?
Oh,
Oh,
nothing. It's just I think that they only really want Trinix. They didn't say a word to me while I was there.
Mm, they just don't see your potential. I
it's
almost
because
wonder if that wasn't a bad thing.
Mhm.
that might be because Trinix is the one that potentially has all the secrets they're trying to hide.
Yeah. And lucky at this point, everyone's kind of talking amongst themselves.
Yep. All right. Let's get this started.
I start to stand up when you say that.
Not getting there yet.
Uh, oh, okay.
Someone decided to access some sensitive information, or at
Oh,
least attempt to, here in this building. Roughly, very recently. It originated from the med bay.
it's going to start to like wheel backwards and start to wheel away.
Trixine's going to hold your wheelchair and be like, it's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Look at her face. She's so mad.
I'm mad is something. I'm just going to put it this way. We have a fairly major security breach here as of late. Someone is accessing our security files, our records for our cameras, and tampering with them. Has anyone seen any suspicious figures at all getting into places they shouldn't be? This is a CCTV footage. It is all local. It's not necessarily something you're going to easily access from outside.
GM, I have access to all the cameras. Do I see anything?
Uh, you don't. Matter of fact, cameras that are outside of Lucky's office, um, they go dead. Like, not all that often, but frequently enough that taking a scrub through it, there's some medium-sized chunks that are missing from these. And the worst part, the metadata for those timestamps is scrubbed. Whoever did this knew what they were doing.
Shit. I will mention that.
How long have you known this?
Just
Like, just
Just
yeah.
now.
just to answer that for you, Cash, so you know, you just learned that now.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm still like plugged in, so it'd be easy to do like a quick run through.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Now, that being said, Dutchman, I'm going to ask you, your entire group, to. What can I say except keep a closer eye on things?
She nods without saying anything. Actually, you know what? She nods and says, "Would you like a um uh would you like uh guard posted outside of your room?"
For the time being, that will be useful.
Kind of nods and says, "I will make sure it is my most trusted men."
Nods. As for the rest of us, we have a moot coming up very soon. I am not above considering that this is some outside forces at play. I can think of a couple of groups that would want to do something like this. But lack of suspicion from anyone here leads me to believe that it is someone inside, looking over everyone.
I might use this opportunity to also kind of look at everyone.
Go ahead and make me that check.
You know. Ooh. Should I GM roll it? Yeah.
Sure.
In case someone else wants to do a secret roll too. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I like this. All right.
Absolutely. If
Human
you want to
perception?
GM roll that. Yeah, human perception.
Yeah. Did that
Oh.
GM roll or no?
That did not GM roll.
Oh well.
I
There's
don't
a,
know what's wrong with this, but it's not doing GM rolls properly. Whatever the case, we'll get it figured out later. I will tell you all of the NPCs. So first of all, the DJs, yeah, they don't give a shit. At this moment, both of them look at each other, shrug, and then kind of continue watching. Boris looks just very squinty-eyed at everyone. You can tell he's trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. He's trying to get a read on everyone. Pierre, cool as a cucumber. As for Violet, Violet is getting more and more annoyed as this meeting goes on. Very clearly. He's barely hiding it. I mean, like, Lucky, with your passive, you would be able to fucking tell he's getting more annoyed, but, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean guilt. Scav, concerned, very concerned. He's kind of done that thing where he shrinks into the bar, and he's got a bowl of ramen that is pretty obviously cold at this point, but he's still scarfing it down, like, quietly in the corner. No noodle slurps, which he usually is kind of guilty of doing. So he's intentionally trying to be like, I'm nobody here. I don't want people to be mad at me for anything. Suzerain, Suzerain's got bigger things on her mind right now. You know, she's not like, yeah, she's concerned about this, but she also just came face to face with someone that she very much doesn't trust. And there's also been some other things about her today that have kind of come to light that she's a little embarrassed about. And she's 15. So all of these things put together mean that you're looking at her and she's just like fucking like, she's not in it right now. You know what I mean?
That's the same way that Trinix is.
Yeah.
He's got so much on his mind that he's like, okay, y'all figure that out. I got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. Ulf Hednar, she is very quiet and stoic, but you roll really good. You can tell she's a little embarrassed, honestly. Like,
She should be.
Yeah, she's a little embarrassed about this. Lisa stopped counting the money for tips, like stopped doing Eurodollar math, and kind of like has done this thing that you've seen people do before, like especially like working girls, where she just kind of sits pretty. You know, she's very much like, this seems like a bad time to look like I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And who am I missing? Fucking the mechanic guy who Serum. Serum is very openly concerned. He's like, this isn't good. Like, uh-oh. Like, someone's fucking in our shit. You know what I mean? Because he probably has some shit on the network as well. But I'm gonna tell you, there's one more thing that you read. Trixie looks at Cash a little bit. You can't tell if it's suspicion or worry, but like Trixie or Cash, you can't see it because Trixie's behind you, you know. But she kind of looks down for a second. You can see a fleeting moment of like, is it her? You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's not like a worry that something she might have just did is gonna get hurt. Okay. She's
No,
just
that's a
worried
really high perception check.
that Cash. Yeah, she's worried that Cash has fucked themselves over.
Yeah,
Fucked
like
us
she
over.
she is not 100% sure that Cash did not do this. Sad to
Oof.
say. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
You'll
Huh?
never know. You're not gonna know.
Fair.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna be like outing her for having her
No,
doubts.
for sure, for sure. All is well in paradise, right? But yeah, that's kind of what you get across the board.
I'm assuming
It's
I get
funny,
some
we
of
have
that, but
so
not
many
all of
suspects that we have to constantly go over now.
it. Right.
What did you say, Gunnar? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I was gonna say. Yeah, I did. I probably got some of that, not the Trixie thing, probably.
Didn't get the Trixie thing, and also you probably didn't get the thing that Lisa does, mainly because you're a little bit different in your upbringing than most of the other people here, so you probably didn't have a lot of experience with like red light working girls. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's still a truism, like like when you're and I'm sure that the one woman who is playing this game can attest to this better than I can, but like when you're like a woman in like a scenario where there's like real chance for you to come to some kind of harm, typically you're trying to keep a low profile. Is that fair?
Yes, a
Yeah.
couple things occur.
Mm-hmm.
You keep a low profile, and you start to become acutely aware of your surroundings. It
Yeah.
is like your entire mood shifts from I'm happy to be here to every single person here could hurt me. I need to know who it is right now.
Right.
And you tend to look for an exit and cover your
Yeah.
drink. Always cover your drink. Okay, moving on.
Okay. Thank you. But no, yeah. So that's kind of like maybe you get a little bit of that from Lisa, but she's also a tough one to read. Oh, I did forget to mention Pierre. Pierre is lapping this up. It's not like he's enjoying it. Well, he is kind of, but it's not like the kind of enjoyment of like, I'm glad that the bar is in chaos. He's more like, this is fascinating to watch all these people react to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Lucky's probably takes the cane off of her lap, puts it down. Everybody in the all of the player characters know explicitly what that cane is at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Takes it off of her lap. It had been sitting on her lap. She puts that down, probably messes with the ring on her finger and goes, all right. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's hear about Artis.
Um. hmm, I'll let.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. RT. Yeah. So, yeah, we went to a really nice place where people don't have their own brains. And we met with Jafar Alfonso.
Alfonso Jabbar.
Yeah. Did Spade ever tell you about him? Well, whatever. He's a big medical dude, neuroscientist, and he's really doing a lot of advanced neuro. Dude, he put everybody to stop moving. It's kind of cool. Kind of crazy, but kind of cool too from a scientific perspective. But anyways, he wants to give me a job.
The worst explanation of the things that could have.
I was going to say, Lucky takes a moment, makes sure you're done, and goes, great. Suzerain, can we have that again in English, please?
Suzerain's like, Artis is some sort of weird science playground, essentially. We were brought in for a meal, at which point he revealed that an entire crowd of people who were acting completely normal around us were actually essentially flesh automata. I think that they were vat grown or something like that. Went on some sort of mad scientist spiel about using these as vessels for actual people instead of, well, he called them vessels explicitly and continuously. Made a lot of threats to us, and then offered Trinix here a job, but he also he lied a lot.
He was planning to kill Spade if Spade showed up.
Hmm.
And we got to eat some real food.
Yeah, at this point, Suzerain goes, "You want a burger?"
To who?
To you.
I would check those first before we start freely handing them out.
Well, nothing
I
happened
have
to me.
But it
It
tasted fine.
explodes.
right. Your head
Now,
explodes, and
always wear a
second
tummy
character.
helmet. No, yeah, and I'll do the legwork for you. Serum is going to go up, and he's gonna be like, "I've never had real beef." He's gonna scan it with a bug scanner. It's gonna come up green, and he's gonna go, "Well, if they put anything in here, it's way more advanced than a bug scanner can pick up."
Um,
You,
I don't think. Oh, okay.
well, do you think they'd really spend that much money to put a what bug, a tracking device, a poison? I mean,
Not. I think maybe if he wanted to do something to find out what I know, that's the only thing I could think he would put in there is something to monitor what if I ever say what I know, which I
yeah.
already made that mistake. This dude killed my dad apparently.
Yeah, at that point,
Just
now
so
the
matter
truth
of
comes
factly.
out.
Now the door
Yeah,
busts open.
yeah, no, yeah. But at this point, Lucky, I think you have the full scope of the situation.
I think I caught a gist or two.
Yeah.
He also has the technology to bring that one dude back. If we advance it enough and we do research and work with it, but he's also going to kill me and take my research like he did with Dad.
Well,
Unless you
prob-
kill him and take his research.
he's probably going to use
That's
you
what
as much.
Spat was going to do.
He's probably going to use you for quite some time. He's
He
not the
did
kind of
offer
guy.
you to take you to college overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that might be like when your dog disappears and they say they sent him to a farm. He may actually just be making food out of him.
I
I
He
wouldn't
kinda-
taste very good.
Is
I
there
don't
any way
know.
of replicating this technology without his help?
He sounded like he had hit a wall or something.
Yeah. I think he had a problem where he doesn't have the exact information that Dad had or that Spate was working on. Um, so I think he wants me there to fill in the gaps that he was, because I don't think he's business savvy, yes, but when it comes to the actual medical technology and stuff, I think he's a complete fucking moron.
Now, I would like to bring something up for Lucky, specifically. Lucky. So, that info, the info, maybe happen to have something that might have been useful for this. Something that this guy might not even have had, and it might have been a project with a K spelling.
Well, that info no longer exists, so
That's fair, but that's also something to consider.
this is true. All right.
I mean, I
How
I
soon does
don't
he
know
need
why
an
my
answer?
brain. He wants me. Okay, so he gave me this badge, and he's giving a lecture on Friday. So if I go to the lecture on Friday,
Where is the lecture?
uh,
It's in Artis.
in Artis, yeah, at the
Sounds like a
school.
perfect place to go grab the information that he's working on.
Well,
She says,
whoa,
putting kind of just her head in her hands, just kind of looking at you.
okay, so then I go to the lecture technically. Um, while the rest of y'all, oh, that would be cool because he's not there. Hey, that's a good idea.
The one problem you'll need is to, as soon as possible, try and get on his good side. Make sure he gives you access to all of the places that you'll need to enter before you, well, before the day of the lecture.
I have his personal phone number if that matters. But he said he's going to give me anywhere I want to, depending on whatever specialization I decide to go into.
I have a feeling he only has one place in mind for you.
The farm?
Yeah, at that point, Serum actually probably laughs and then like looks around, is like, "Sorry."
It's not a bad guess.
Are you allowed any guests, or is it just you?
I did not clarify that. It's just him.
Yeah, from my understanding, it's just me. So y'all have to figure out a different. Dude, they got mad security up in there.
That's what I'm saying. I remember. I still am a little gun shy from what happened to Spate, and everybody was there.
Yeah, yeah.
um, although maybe people aren't there to let him die, things will be a little different.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, uh, okay, so what if I just agree and then get as much information and then access and this will take months. This isn't going to be like a simple thing. It's going to take a while.
so the information he has is insufficient for you to pair with Spates and make something.
Oh, well, it's possible to do that, but I've got to limit what I say when I go there to work. I've got to pull back some of my skills so that it doesn't go as fast as he wants it to go. But I still have to show that I'm really smart so that he keeps. It's a complicated process that I think I will have to work on. But yeah, it's possible.
Let As much as I hate to say it, this seems like one of the few opportunities we're going to get to bring
Hank.
to bring Hank out of his coma. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
think
why.
on this for a little while. I want
Okay.
you to think on it a little while.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's not jump the gun too quickly. There's no need to put someone in danger for something that isn't a surefire thing.
At this point, probably Violet speaks up and goes, "You know, I have a couple contacts that might be able to get me an inside man in Artis. Nothing severe, but I'm sure I could get a janitor or maybe a low-level intern in there."
Hmm. Give me 24 hours and I'll give you the okay then. Is that acceptable?
At your wish.
Yeah, should be enough time.
I
Yeah.
have one more lead to run down before we pull the trigger on this.
sounds like there might be a lot of prep work on this one as well. If I may give some advice, I've worked with these science types before. Would that be okay?
Run that by me again. I'm sorry.
Basically, Violet is like, I've worked with some of these some of these science types before. Would it be all right if I
Oh.
gave you some advice?
Gotcha. That is fine.
Be like, this might be a better idea for a long con. The thing about scientists is they think that they're so damn smart that, well, they really are actually able to prepare for a lot of things. But, you know, if you're able to get in on his good side, maybe you're going to be able to get a little bit more leverage. Of course, that's a dangerous game the longer you go in, but it might be a decent idea. That'd be at least my advice.
That is acceptable. Like I said, I will have a final answer tomorrow. Is there anything else I need to know about Artis?
Probably some vague threats that they could go to Canal Belt South and kidnap people and use them for their projects.
At that, it's I'm gonna make a mental note to mention that to Lieutenant Rodrigo. That is something he may want to look into.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it is kidnappings kind of right up. He has access to
Oh.
the database. We don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those.
Absolutely.
Hey, I've heard a little birdie's told me that Artis may be making some people disappear in CBS. Can you verify this at all?
Right. Yeah.
And
if you want to
the
bring
answer is
that
gonna
up to
be
him.
it's CBS. It's a fucking war zone. How the hell am I supposed to know?
The
But
other
it's
answer is
worth a
going to be
shot.
the other answer is going to be Artis. Okay, who in Artis? What company? Out of what
Yeah.
of the 7 companies there? You know what I mean?
I would,
Like,
and it'd probably be the collective as a whole.
and he'd be, well, I can't really charge a collective as a whole, so I'll investigate it, but I can't promise you anything. You know
No,
what I mean?
it's
Like
just
that.
I want to know if that's substantiated rumors or not. Basically.
Yeah, I get you.
Uh,
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
might ask him that next time because there might be some information he has about CBS that you guys don't that could be pertinent, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to be the answers you're looking for.
No, probably not. But at the least, it is worth dragging him into that.
Yeah.
I know he said he only wanted to fuck with Red Eye stuff, but this seems kind of like something he would be interested in.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely. Well, he's a blue moon. He fucking
Right.
absolutely would be interested in people doing terrible shit so he could stop it.
Right. So, I think. All right. All right. Meeting dismissed. Please keep an eye out. Report anything suspicious.
Yeah.
Let's see where this goes.
And I think, with that being said, sorry.
I just wanted to
Yes.
stop Lucky before the meeting was over.
Uh-huh.
Or once the meeting was over and
Mhm.
talk to her privately. So can
You
I
want to do that real fast?
Can we? It'll be quick. So
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
We were
absolutely.
waiting for DM confirmation.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
My brain skipped like 5 beats.
it's okay, no worries. So yeah, I'm gonna like tell Trixie like I need a minute. I gotta go do a thing.
She kind of nods and she's like, "Well, I'll be in our room. I'm pretty sure the Terror is probably eating paint supplies, which I don't know how he survives it, but I swear he drank at least 3 entire gulps of acrylic paint.
Hey,
Well-
but like, why did you get a bunny?
I thought it'd be cute. Fuck. I'm gonna
It
go
was-
check on him.
He's great. He's great. He's great. She's
Yeah.
like walking away. I'm like, no, really.
Yeah.
I'm getting a very never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I'm gonna like roll over to you and be
Yeah.
like, I my curiosity got the best of me. I'm very sorry.
she just it looks like a good thing came out of it in the end.
Does this mean that I
Apology
can try?
accepted.
Oh, thank you. Does this mean that I can try and
No.
crack into it? Oh, I mean, but I mean, you aren't you curious? Just like a little.
She kind of raises an eyebrow. You think I wouldn't know what's going on in my bar?
You clearly didn't. There's scrubbed data. There's scrubbed metadata.
I'm
a
aware of that, and I'm
secret
trying to
database.
get back up. You said secret database? So, something very clear. We didn't talk about that during the meeting.
True.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't.
Well, you
know
would because you tried to break into it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, okay, yes, because it seemed like a secret on the network.
basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which it was a secret on the network.
Yes.
Okay.
And
This was for sure a masked network. You're just really fucking good at hacking.
what
Yeah.
Lucky is trying to do is whoever planted it already knows that we know about it because it's been disconnected. What she's trying to hide is everybody knowing about this secret database so that if people do talk about it, other than you at this point, which, sorry, doesn't help your case much, but if anybody outside of here does talk about it on accident, then we know that they've done some wrong. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Now, did you say that as Lucky or as Gunner?
I said that as Gunner just to kind of explain what's going to be happening here in a minute, because you're kind of like the database, and it's going to be, I know what's on my database. I don't think I need to explain that any further.
I'm not asking you that question. I'm asking you if you want to know who put it there. And why did you hire me if you're not going to utilize my skill set?
What are you talking about? Of course I put it there.
Did you?
She's giving
Wink,
you
wink, wink.
she's giving you the look of not now.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to molting, I guess.
All right.
Doing.
You go back to molting.
Be salty. Be salty,
Be
woman.
salty.
Be salty. Just don't put any salt on me because I'm basically a slug right now, and it's gonna hurt a whole lot. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, I think that's all I've got.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that at that point we are probably going to call it for the night. So let's get some sign-offs, and let's start with our very own crispy, salty, ever fried Cash.
Hello. I may begin. Today I played Cash. Cash is less crispy today than she was yesterday, and here in about a week she might even be back to normal. So maybe if I'm on good behavior, the GM will take a day off of my sentence because I fucked up. It's cool. I am so curious to see how all of this plays out in so many different ways. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting moment. So I am also in Fire Strike on Mondays, and I'm in Over the Horizon on Wednesdays, and those are loads of fun. I am terrified that Miss Lucky herself has murdered my hawk, so you should check that out on Wednesdays to see if my hawk comes back, or if I'm gonna like actually have a cry about it, because I woke up stressed about a thing that doesn't exist in real life. This is where I'm at, and that's me.
Yeah. Okay. Next, let's go to Connor.
Hello, I'm Brian. I played Connor tonight. I don't know why I got stuck with the frat boys, but hey, whatever. Yeah,
It
they're
was a
just lucky I
test.
didn't decide to take care of them in the bar. But I'm still waiting to hear the sounds of a shotgun going off. But this should be interesting. Let's see where else. On Monday, you can find me in Fire Strike, where I'm playing Shaba Young. It's about to get pretty nasty because we're trying to save Xander because someone decided to take a sex change serum and walk right up to them.
What? Without my consent as the
Yeah,
doctor and without
yes.
my own personal concoction?
Listen, I
No.
think you mean Zandet.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb.
Xandra.
Xandra. Whoa,
I
that's
like
good.
it. Xandra, yes. Let's see what else. This Sunday, Gloomfall will be happening. Let's see if these guys have actually. Well, I run it. Let's see if these guys actually can get their plan to work. Should be
I'm
interesting.
excited.
Yeah, we'll just leave it. You should be excited. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. And then not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I'll be starting After the Bomb, a Twilight 2000 4th edition game set in post World War III, where our lovely group of survivors are in the heart of Sweden, of all places. Hey, Russia invaded. So the Americans came, and so did everybody else in NATO. But hey,
Classic.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. They
Right?
could freeze to death.
I'm very excited to freeze to death.
But yeah. So
Oh boy, there we go, freezing to death again.
Right?
Winter, nuclear winter. Yeah, we could do something. Anyway, that's for me.
Excellent. Nice. All right. Next, let's go with Computer King.
Yep, I'm Computer King, the gentleman supervillain who's tired because it's 3 in the morning.
Yeah, we went a little long. Sorry.
Yeah, and although I still caught a nap today, I used up all my energy going out to learn how to tie up my playmates. I mean, my victims better.
This is not
What a
better.
supervillain.
So, yeah, I was paying Dexter, and yeah, I got 3 really good movie quotes out this time.
Yeah, you did.
Also on Mondays, I'm in Fire Strike as Lee, the little guy who's 3 foot tall, has 4 arms, and can kick major butt. But everybody wants him to be their Jiminy Cricket until he passes him on over to Withaki, where they can get some
Who is an
actual help.
actual bug?
Yeah, who can give them actual help.
I feel like that's a slight against me, and I'm here for it.
That's
Okay,
not just you. Zai needs it too.
Zion
Yeah.
really needs it, doesn't he?
But he tried. Literally he gave Zai about the same advice he gave you, and Zai went,
Mhm.
"Fuck you."
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
And other than that, if you're a consenting adult, you can look up my podcast, Into the Dark with Computer King, and learn about the darker side of human sexuality. It's fun. That's it.
All right. Excellent. Next, let's go to arguably the man of the session, Scott.
Okay, with Scott. Played Trinix. And hey, we finally got to have the dinner. And I didn't realize it was against the big dude. I thought it was just a reporter dude. But hey, that was cool. So I had to rethink about, this is what this is about. Okay. And this could be kind of cool. He could learn a lot about the medical field and how to become a better doctor. But he could also get killed. So, hey, whatever. He's fine. Anyways, what else am I in? I'm in New Amsterdam. My brain just forgot what I played.
You're
Trinix.
here now.
Oh, that's what we are now. Oh my Lantha, I'm too tired.
Huh. You're thinking of Firestrike and Gloomfall.
Oh yeah, Gloomfall. I played the normal blacksmith in a party of weird people. So I make weapons and walls and ceilings and stuff. And then on Monday, yeah, I'm the crazy one. Because I spent 2 days sitting in a cave waiting for someone to show up. And they never showed up. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's go see what they have to say. We'll see where it goes. They're going to blow up the. Yeah, I'm going to play a character in that. I have a random idea. Sounds kind of fun in my head, but we'll see when we get to that point. And that's all I do in my life. Yay!
Excellent. All right. Let's see here. Next, let's go with Sassy McNasty.
Ah, the finger in my ear. Hi. It itched. It's Sassy McNasty. Oh yeah. Man, I got to play Scene, and I was just like ready to just grab that scientist, use him as a body shield. If everyone else died, whatever. I was going to use him as my bargaining chip to get the fuck out of there. And if they even did it like, well, we can just shoot through him, I'd be like, but look, the instant we all die, the person who is recording all this is going to let everyone in New Amsterdam know that you guys have things like fresh meat. Can you hold back all of Amsterdam? No? Thought so. Let me go and I'll make sure that don't happen. But anyway. This could be a lot of persuasion rolls. You also can catch me wrapping around Mondays for the first half of each session because I work right after that, right during it. It
Classic.
sucks. As Oliver Byrne, who is now mad that someone took a polyjuice potion without, or a sex change potion without consulting the doctor.
What if it messes with your existing fucking
Yes,
medication?
I could have made you one that was better somehow. But
I'll make you twice the woman you are now.
exactly. Uh, and then you can also catch me on Wednesdays, uh, Over the Horizon, right? Is that the name? Yeah, right? Over the Horizon?
Yes.
After the bomb. Oh, wait, over the
What? No.
horizon. Yep.
Okay.
You're right,
As
sorry.
Gideon Sunborn, the somewhat stoic, strength-based ranger that doesn't really make sense, but fuck it. I love strength-based ranger Gideon. He's great. You guys should come and join it because he's babysitting children and it's fun.
Deadly rock thrower.
A deadly rock thrower
I
Gideon,
mean,
yes.
you
17
are a
damage
bad
with the rock.
babysitter. Yeah, you're the bad one. You
What?
literally were like violence, and nobody else was thinking. I don't know if they were thinking violence, but I wasn't.
There was something skittering around the wizard in the camp at night, and when I tried to light the fire, it ran away. Of course, I'm thinking it's probably like a goblin or something, or some weird thing trying to kill him. So I was like, I'm gonna pelt it with a rock, and ultimately I was just trying to pelt it to mark it so I could track it. And then I realized that's not what my
Yeah.
ability does. So I was like, ah, shit. Oh well, it takes 17 damage, you little bitch. And
For sure.
that thing's gonna go back. Like, guys, we shouldn't fuck with that. He did 17 damage with a rock, and I saw the weapon he actually carries. We shouldn't go there. See?
Yeah.
And that's me.
All right, excellent. And that leaves us to Cyrus Smith.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cyrus Smith. And today, well, a little birdie's told me that someone in this room is a liar and is working against the rest of us. I intend to find out who.
It's
Well, I
almost like
mean,
I've done this in plenty of my games.
I do have a wonderful tiger that you could just station in your office when no one's around, and anyone that comes in there without the passcode or without me or you we could just set her up to just slice them in half.
That is a thought. Now,
That is a thought.
you could also find me on, let's see, Sundays. We have After the Bomb. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And
Nope, Gloomfall on Sundays.
Gloomfall
on
as well, where I'll be playing Marshall Stark, and not sure what for After the Bomb yet. I'm thinking War Reporter.
Ooh.
And there's Monday where I'm playing Twinkle Bailey and Fire Strike, and Wednesdays where I am running Over the Horizon, where I
You murdered my bird.
did not murder your bird. We will talk about your bird next session, because what happened is you told your bird, hey, go find me, and then went off to have a bowl of mushroom stew.
Because I was fucking traumatized.
Yeah, because you saw yourself, and now you sent your bird to go find yourself.
Did. I'm upset.
Of course, you did also say like 10 minutes, but who the fuck knows what 10 minutes is when you're a hawk?
I know. I thought about that after, and I was like, a hawk doesn't understand time.
So, that's me.
All right, excellent. And that leaves me. First of all, that's going to be another, you know what? You guys did good. 6 XP today, 6 IP. Now, hello, everybody. My name is Mira. Today, you caught me running New Amsterdam. And in New Amsterdam, we had a total bad good guy or good bad guy, whatever you want to call it. A much more believable bad guy, I think, than Lucan. I mean, Lucan's believable, but this guy's like, oh, he's a sustainable bad guy. You know what I mean? We also had there's a leak. There's a leak. There's a leak. And who caused the leak? Well, I can tell you right now, it's someone in this chat.
I
Anyway.
fucking knew it.
Anyway, you can also catch me in I'm gonna be in After the Bomb, which is gonna be sick nasty. I'm playing, if any of you guys know who Pat the Bunny is, it's essentially who I'm playing, just in World War III. I think that'll be really fun. Along with that, you can also catch me on Mondays with Fire Strike, where I am playing my favorite 2 characters with Aki the Seekers, who dropped a couple truth bombs there on Vesa, and specifically was like, "Hey, listen, it's okay to not be okay, but also fuck that platitude. Here's when I've been okay with not being okay, and I'm still okay with not being okay." You know what I mean? Grow from your trauma. Doesn't make you stronger, but it makes you wiser. Anyway, you can also catch me on Sunday, this Sunday. Yes, this Sunday, with Gloomfall, where I play Madame Yinbrath. Madame Yinbrath likes developing talent, and we're about to develop some talent all over these Driders, and that's not innuendo, that's more of a threat than a sexual innuendo. You don't want to sleep with a Drider. They will, first of all, not sleep with you, and even if they did, they'd eat your head afterwards. Anyway, if you are currently watching us live on Twitch, we love you so much. But also, could be watching us again and again and again and again and again on youtube.com/Paradise Theater. If you are currently watching us on YouTube, we love you so much. But also, what are you doing, silly goose? Could be watching us live on twitch.tv/pair_o_dice_theater. And if you happen to be a fan of my extra long spiels that I'm not going to do because it's 3:30 for Computer King and Brian, you can catch us on Twitter, Pair Theater. And other than that, I think that is it for us. Let's get a good old Nozdrovia and get the hell out of here.
Nostrovia!
Nostrovia!
I
Hi,
will
sweetie.
find you, and when I do,